members here. We have candidates who participated in the process. We have parties here present. We have CSOs. Everybody, observers, are here. The goal, as always, News Central, is to provide a platform where conversations are had and data can be collected for the progress of our electioneering processes.
Talking about the elections, it's come and gone. That's local government elections in Lagos State. Reactions continue to trail. Just a bit of data that we have. We know that there were 57 that's chairmanship seats that were contested for distributed 20 local government areas and 37 local council development areas. To what we know, won all 57 chairmanship seats on the July 12th, 2025 local government elections. Also, we have about 376 councillorship seats, with the APC also winning 375 to secure in one. But there are issues, just like I mentioned earlier, and this platform is where these conversations will be had. We have represented, once again, across board, political parties, candidates, and all.
All right, so for us to have a smooth time, we're going to have some basic house rule. This is live television, so we have to be extra cautious. We get to welcome our live guests here. Welcome, everyone. First, welcome to this interaction. All right, just basic house rules that we have. We need to put our phones on silence. This conversation is divided into various segments. So each segment is timed. If you have 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, it's important that you stick to time so we can have more people participate in the conversation. Be mindful of language and accusations without verifiable evidence. It's important while we have the platform to express and share our experiences. It's also, if there is the second party doesn't have the ability to defend themselves, we need to make sure our comments are factual.
Also, it's important that we mention that we stick with time, just like what Felicity did say. The reason is to allow, enough room for all of us, or most of us, to be able to talk. And because it's also live TV, choice of words, we will advise that you address the issue and maybe not necessarily the person, right?
All right.
So that we have a productive outing.
For those watching us from home, you can be a part of this conversation. There are several hashtags. NC Lagos, Inside Lagos, that's Lagos Politics. Hashtag Inside Lagos Politics, hashtag NC Lagos Politics. These are the hashtags you can use to share your comments, observation, queries, put them on Facebook, X, formerly Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you get your information, we will be live. We're also live on DSTV on 422. We're on GoTV 23. We're on Star Times 274. We're on Avo TV, YouTube, again, wherever you get your information from.
And of course, that's it. Let's get into the conversation.
Again, just to quickly say that the why of this conversation is to give you, the viewer, the opportunity to experience firsthand what the candidates and participants experience, and for you to share your thoughts as well. As we said, this conversation is divided into various segments. The first time around, we'll be having candidates reflect on the process itself. Because, again, this is a time-bound conversation, we can take all the candidates, but we can take at least 5 or 7, depending on if. For this first segment, we have 15 minutes for the candidates to express themselves. But for each person is 2 to 3 minutes. We have a timekeeper to help us keep within the time limit.
All right.
Without further ado,
yes, just also to add to what Felicity said, at this point, it's candidates' clarification on irregularities, issues of missing logos, documentation, clearance issues, and all of that. Hopefully, we'll get to touch on that within this very limited time. So let's welcome the first candidate.
Okay, let's start with the PDP chairmanship candidate. This is in no particular order, please. Tessie White, if you're here, could you come up and let's start with that. Tessie, I knew you were here. I think you were here earlier before we start. Oh, yes, there she is. Okay, I think this is the order. All right. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
3 minutes, please.
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Honorable Tessie White, the chairmanship candidate for the PDP, the only party, the national party, and the rational party that does not discriminate. Thank you. I actually want to speak about this last election. I will say that this last election is the worst election we ever had. It's the worst election we ever had. And secondly, the election that just passed, that we had this July 12, many parties here on the field on that day knew a lot of things went wrong. We had many cases where we have over-rigging, you know, people move from one polling unit going to another polling unit. Same people that goes to vote at a particular unit goes to another polling unit also to go and vote. We had over-voting on that day. And a lot of thugs all over everywhere forcing people, you know, to make sure that they must actually vote for a particular party. It is not done. Nigeria is not one man's party. We all have the right as citizens in this country to come out and exercise our votes. And we give our votes to whoever we want to give to. I personally, standing here, I want to say that election was not election. We did not do election. We did not do election. It was just election where everybody was under intimidation. And many people did not come out on that day to come and vote. Nobody came out. If you go to some areas, some local governments, you see that where they were sitting down, people were just sitting down, nothing was being done. And again, people were afraid also to come out and vote. And all these numbers of accredited voters we all saw on that day was not it. Many people did not come out. People didn't come out on that day. They were being forced not to come out, and if you come out, they tell you the particular place you are going to vote. So to me, election for July 12 was not election at all. Local government election happens to be the worst election we can ever have in Nigeria. And until it is being corrected, then we'll be able to change the narrative. And I'm encouraging everybody here that we need to go out also there to change the narrative. We need to speak, we need to say our mind, and we need to do the needful. What actually happened on that day, I still repeat, it was not election. Thank you very much.
The next guest. Thank you for keeping to time. It's very important. Who is the next person?
We have Okpeyemi. The next guest is Okpeyemi Ogunlami. She's the AAC chairmanship candidate. Okpeyemi Ogunlami. Okay, we understand that she's still on the way. Let's bring up James Additional, the chairman. That's ZLP Alimo Short Local Government. ZLP. All right, please. 3 minutes strictly. Thank you.
All right. Greetings to everyone. My name is Honorable James Adeshino. I'm also the former IPAC chairman, Lagos State. Well, under the umbrella of Zenith Labour Party, I did won the primary and push further for the proper documentation at LASIEC. But unfortunately, the LASIEC body were able to look for certain ways to disenfranchise my candidacy. After making several efforts from my person, from my office, from the party's office, the LASIEC body, for me, where they are like another party, another political party in the last election, because they acted that way, most importantly, the chairman. So, and what I'm saying is there are facts to it, that the chairman of LASIEC ensured that a candidacy, that I was unable to eventually contest the election, even after several efforts and all of that. So for me, I'll be voting the last election. I'll be voting it a no election. For me, there was no election. It was just an election that happened in Lagos. And that election did not deepen democracy. If you want to deepen a democracy, then that type of election should not repeat itself again. It's a shame that in this age we are conducting such an elections with a lot of irregularities. And the voter apathy was also very, very high in the last election, because I observed people that were supposed to come out, they were just staying at home, because it's as if 95% of the electorate already lost hope and belief in the democratic. All right, thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Okay, I think...
Yes. Just to be sure, you made a direct accusation saying that the chairman of LASIEC sort of ensured that you were not, on the ballot. Can you substantiate this? Do you have evidence?
Do you have? Yes, very important.
Yes, there are process and there are guidelines that are set for the local government elections. And those guidelines are actually set for the players, political parties, the candidates. But the way this last local government election guidelines, policies were structured, they were designed to disenfranchise candidates that has capacity to win elections.
We will accept that you are making this as an accusation. There has to be some level.
Of course, we are.
The rules that were used for you were the same rules that others used.
Well,
right?
the same rules. By the time you hear from other candidates, you get to know that same rule disenfranchise a lot of candidates, and whereby you are setting, you are in your guidelines that party should do substitution of candidacy, and it forced to holiday, like public holiday. So obviously you cannot, candidate will not be able to meet up, party will not be able to meet up. And as political parties, we wrote several letters to them, bringing their attentions to all of those irregularities and areas that parties, candidates may be disenfranchised. But unfortunately, they did not meet up.
I'm sorry to cut you.
All right, thank you.
We just needed you to make some clarification. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. We also have the chairmanship candidate, Accord Party, Ikorodu North LCDA, Awolaja Olarewaju. Could you come up quickly, please? Is that you, sir? All right. I mean, instead of coming out, I think we could do it. You just stay where you are. After this, the next person will come to you with the microphone.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. My name is Honorable Awolajo Olanrewaju, a court candidate, Kurudu North SCDA. My own experience was, it's not that different. But what really happened was that in a particular polling unit, yes, because Kurudu North has 142 polling units. And as the other candidate has said, we don't have election. Because what really happened was, one of the polling units were turned to carnival, whereby the two polling units that were together, they are giving people refreshments. And if you are not the APC man, you won't be allowed to vote. If time allows me, I can state those polling units. I went around, I saw this by myself. That is one. Two, in one of the polling units, Electoral to be precise, these people came out with not short of 15 tricycles, Marua, and they go down to Bamigbelu, Akon, and other polling units, telling people that if you know you are not voting for APC, don't come out. If you come out, we shoot you. Yes. That's another thing. The third one is situation whereby in other polling units that fall under my jurisdiction, that is Itelela polling unit. After the PO have conducted election, allowed the party agent to sign the ballot sheet, then the polling unit officer asked them to follow her down to collecting center before they can be given this sheet and get it to collecting center. That is at this place, or was it Electoral Primary School? That is the collecting center. These agents were fenced out. They were not allowed to go in, and the result was result sheets were not given to them. Is this an election? Another experience is this. We had about 4 polling unit agents in some areas there in Ikorodu North, Bamigbelu, Akon, and the APC thugs were sent there. These people were beat to the stupor, sent them out, and brought their thugs to down there and starting tampering. Is this an election? No. Fine. There are some areas within whereby they just ask people to have the multiple voting.
All right.
You are able to vote several times. So to me, this is not an election.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Awolajo Olanrewaju. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
All right. Of course, calling forward now is Olumayowa Akogun-Abudu, the Labour Party chairmanship candidate, Oja local government.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. I am Abudu Akinlola Olumayowa, the chairmanship candidate of Labour Party in Ojo local government. As for me and many others, this is the worst I've ever seen. Actually, it's at a time I'm coming into the political space after years being in the military. And I'd never had a hand at any time while on the uniform. I've gone against people subverting their voice. This is the height of it. So undemocratic, and I can't find words suiting enough to define this daylight robbery where even uniformed men, the police in particular, with evidences, the military, everybody were just against the opposition party. This is not an election, but it's election. I am of the thought that cowards die many times before they are dead, but the villain never tastes of death but once. I am telling you, just as what we saw recently, we are gradually sliding into anarchy. If everybody that contested the election were people like me, this wouldn't have happened, because we'll come all out and we'll ensure that our voices are heard in unison. But what will you do, just one man, when the whole world seems to be against you? July 12 in Lagos State is an aberration, total departure from the norm. I can't expect the Nigerian I had lived my earlier life to protect for 13 years, suffering from such menace of, I don't know how to say this, because it was a selection. You see ballot stuffing, you see even underage voting, you see people voting with their hand, and who are meant to protect the integrity of Nigeria and its people support this. No, it's uncalled for. And I want to say it again and again, that we are going close to where the falcon will no longer hear the falconer. We are sliding into anarchy. And that is just it. Because there will be at a time, the people will be pushed to the wall, and there's nothing we could do. The only thing we could do is the fact that as at that time, when it happens, all of us will be on the run. But we have no place to go to than Nigeria. And if Nigeria must succeed, we all must come together and brazen up to fight against this impunity that is eating our democracy up. This is what so many people have lived to fight for, and some set of people want to truncate it. We won't allow that. We won't allow it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It is because it is, as a society, we would avoid anarchy in every way we can, and that is why conversations like this, an opportunity for us to express ourselves. I mean, so far, it's not been such a great feedback on the process, but we're still hopeful that perhaps some people had a different kind of experience. Talking about that, let's bring in some councillors. I think we've had 3 chairmanship candidates.
Okay.
Okay, so what would... Okay.
It's,
okay.
For the AAC, do we have Okbayemi Ogunlami? Is he around now? AAC
You're here.
Chairmanship candidate.
Okay. So let's just, can you stay there and speak? Can you take him from there? Let's alternate it.
All right. Good morning, everybody. My name is Okbayemi Benjamin Ogunlami, and I contested for councillorship in Oworonshoki, to be specific. Oworonshoki Ward Hey. Before this time, I've contested in 2023 for House of Assembly, but this election was a different thing. And then what really happened in my own community was a different thing entirely. It's like I've been to school of election, or let me say a school of electoral malpractices. Because on that day, I discovered that the institution of LASIEC is another department of APC. Even from the screening, it was so unfortunate that from the screening we were dehumanized with words. I did international law, my master's in international law, and I have maybe a doctor or whatever telling me, do I come with my original document? I said, yes, they are with my chairman. And then you didn't put in your letter that we should come with the original documents. The next statement that came from the man was, if you were to be my son, I would disown you. I felt dehumanized. I wish and honestly, I'm still going to drag him. And I said, sir, did I kill anyone? He said, no, politics apart. That was the statement. He said, politics apart. LASIEC is meant to be neutral. You are telling me politics apart. Are you playing politics? So I kept quiet, and on that day, I refused to be interviewed further by the man. I demanded another person should interrogate me, which was done. We left, and it was postponed. Coming down to the election, these were the things I found out. And I also heard on TV another candidate in Orile Igomo somewhere saying that you will get to polling unit and you will mention names of people that belong to APC and you will vote even without voters card. In my own polling unit, I wish to mention their names, but they are just my community people. There were people that if you get to polling units, just mention that name. Hold another person's voters card. Show LASIEC official. Once it sees the voters card, not yours, and you mention the name, the person will go through the paper and then say, okay, on my vote. Meanwhile, it's not your voters card. I saw that. I saw very, very many things. And I was like, well, let us tell our fathers at the polling unit that they have 10 years to live. Some of them have less than 10 years. They should not destroy some of us that feel we have 40 to 50 years. They will not be part of our future. I'm in my own 40s. If God say I have long life, I should have 40 or 50 more. And one man that would not have, visibly, does not have 10 years. And if he has 10 years, it will be a vegetable inside. Should not come and destroy my own 40 to 50, supposedly. So, we saw the election, and on the election, some of the opposition were bribed. Some people collected. Those that refused to collect, especially the APC, were beaten. As they were beaten, their boys, their thugs, had to start pouring their own already thumb-printed voters card into the ballot paper. In a polling unit where we have only 12 or 8 people came to vote, APC is having 50-something votes and more. And then at the end of the election, this is what I want to say. The police, this is not, this is evidential. The police is nothing to write home about. The police is also an accomplice. At the end of the election, I was instructed that the next election, Yemi, you must employ cultists. And that was where I saw it, that yes, if you must win an election in Nigeria, you must have cultists in place. It will be bone for bone. That is where APC and the police in Lagos are leading us. It will be bone for bone. If this liberation must come, by all means, APC is making it very hard at the ballot. Then it will be on the streets, bone for bone. So they will be the one to tell us that we should not go towards that direction. They will be civil and be democratic in their ways. And I know at this moment, if APC should give us ants as a candidate, the ants will win an election. And we must stop all this. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your submission. Just to reiterate, for those watching and for everyone here, invitations were sent out here in Lagos State, and we understand some person. I was asking the producer if I should go ahead and just mention the names of the parties that are here. He said we should just give a little more time for those who might be stuck in traffic on their way here. So we're hoping that all political parties in Lagos State will be here before we're done with this conversation. Let's get in 2 more chairmanship candidates, and then we'll go to the councillors, and from there we move on to the next segment. We're even running a little bit out of time. So let's take this.
For the, of course, chairmanship candidate, let's bring on Ayoyinka Oni is the chairmanship candidate for Amowo Odofin Labour Party.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone, or morning. I'm Engineer Ayoyinka Oni, chairmanship candidate for Labour Party Amowo Odofin local government. Well, in order not to burden us with what others have said, virtually what they said happened in Amowo Odofin local government. But there's a unique thing that happened there that nobody has mentioned, which is the deliberate disenfranchisement of our people in the local government, where Labour Party stronghold is. APC, in connivance with LASIEC officials, deliberately did not bring voting materials in our strongholds.
Do you have evidence to this? Because as much as, hold on.
We have evidence to this. It's on social media. I will give you a copy.
It would have worked better if you have it here.
You can show it to the whole world. Take.
Oh, fantastic. So he has shared with us
video evidences to these facts. And that is why we are not trying to delve into the other aspect because of burden of proof. But for this particular aspect, we have video evidences, and we are waiting to see what, you see, a lot of people believe that some set of people Nigeria belongs to a set of people. They own judiciary. Yes. We want to see what judiciary will say about these evidences. Will they say they are AI generated? Will they say it does not exist? Evidences to show to the world that in polling unit so, LASIEC officials deliberately, we want to see what the law will say about that, such a deliberate act. Because if nothing is done, like some other speakers have said, is it that we just believe that Nigeria is a one-man party? All oppositions, it shows we are not serious. Let us go and join one party. And like they rightly said, they would like the Commissioner of Police to tell the whole world what it came to Amod of it to do on that day. They may have gone elsewhere, we appreciate that, but specifically, because we knew what happened after it was there and left, we also like them to also tell the whole world what the Brigadier General of the military, what it came to Amod of it to do on that day. Because we noticed that even the barracks, Ojo Barracks was shut. The gate of the Ojo Barracks, I was thinking my other counterpart would have said about that, we talked about that. The gate was shut. All of a sudden, we noticed that when the Brigadier General came into Amodofi, even the few soldiers that were on ground disappeared. We would like to know what happens. We want them to tell the whole world what played out on that day. So basically, in Amodofi, we are in court. Amodofi and Labour Party are in court right now. And we want them to tell the whole world what does the law says about such a deliberate act of not bringing voting materials. We have 310 voting polling units in Amodofi, and I can tell you that in percentage, virtually just 20% of voting materials were brought to polling units. But to God be the glory, we have quite a number of evidences to prove to the whole world that this is what happened in Amodofi local governments. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. At this point, we will move to candidates, councillorship candidates. And of course, we'll be starting with Olumayowa Sholari. Is the councillorship candidate for the AAC Ikosi Sherry LCDA. Oluwamayowa, are you? Is on his way. All right. Let's bring forward Omotayo Ola Yeye, councillorship candidate for the Labour Party, Ifelodun LCDA. Okay. Let's bring. Is still on his way to
the chairmanship candidate.
No, councillorship candidate.
Okay.
All right. Let's bring forward Shola Matthew. That's the candidate for the YPP. Amodofi. Shola Matthew.
We can go to you. Wait, Shola. Shola, are you here?
Are you around?
Okay. Let's go to the next name there. Anietem. Okay, I'll come to you.
That's for Koka Aguda Surulere.
Okay, please, 2 minutes. We're already.
Good afternoon.
3 minutes.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Editor-in-Chief, contested as a councillor in the ward, Surulere. Really, what happened that day was terrible experience, because when we have something to do with democracy, is a brief explanation is a government of the people, for the people, and for the people. What I noticed that day, first, Nigerian police was a problem. LASIEC was a problem of the whole issue. Because where things was going on that moment, they didn't say anything as if they were complying with APC candidates or the masses that came. Because at least I noticed that one person, 2, 4, normally come with 4 or 5 voters cards, and they normally calls the masses are passing. Do you want to vote? I don't have voters card. Come, take voters card and vote.
You saw this. You have evidence. You saw this by yourself.
People's in my community that told me, because as soon as I voted, I left. So when I came back after the election, that's what the people in my community, in my ward, told me. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much. All right, let's bring forward Shola Matthew. Shola Matthew around now. Shola Matthew, that's a YPP candidate. Okay, while we of course still await the councillorship candidates, let's invite forward party agents who of course their first-hand experience at the polls and of course they'll highlight the challenges, if at all, as regards irregularities or any hurdles they experience. So bringing forward the first party agent, Michael Olasoji, that's party agent, councillor, Ward F.
He's not here. Okay, let's get another name.
That's Akiyemi Olushile, Labour Party.
Akiyemi, are you here? Okay, no, next one.
Lawal Olajide.
Is Lawal here?
Okay, we have Lawal.
Fantastic. I was just actually speaking with him. You could come up front so everyone can see you.
Party agent for the Accord Party, Ifelodun, LCDA.
Good morning, all. My name is Lawal Razak. I'm a party agent for Accord Party, Nigeromi Ifelodun LCDA. A lot of people have said something, and I don't need to just say much, but I will just like build on what he has said. On the day we have a meeting with LASIEC chairman, I call his attention, I think my brother here is there, I call his attention to the collation ground, because we have been participating in election for long and we know how these people rig us. So we don't supposed to be saying something that is not even relevant. We want to, so when I called the Accord chairman, I said, give us the list of collation ground. And she said something is inside the booklets they gave to us. Say it's not there. That day the woman wanted to fight, was just shouting. Did you know that on election day, the collation ground was not used? They took all material and everything to chairman local government office. I have them here. Chairman local government office.
You have the evidence?
I have it here now, where they were announcing.
Can you please just forward it to me?
Yes, I've went to go and meet him there. So, and these are things that we all need to bring up as an opposition party and stand with them. They don't want you to remove anything in their front too now. So that is one. And the security institution in Nigeria is another slap on all opposition party in Lagos and in Nigeria in general. You find them sitting while all this thing. My father is late. I went to go and cast my vote. I said, check Lawal. Because my father and my relatives will all register and it's come at the same, like 1, 2, 3. Did you know that they voted on my father who is late? And I stand and ask them that, where is this man? When was this man came here to vote? They don't want to answer me. Because in my local government, they all know me. That this is one strong boy doing Accord for how many years. So did you know what they do? They call all their leaders, even the state assemblyman sitting that I contested 2019, come to that ground and say, Razak, what is your problem? Are you contesting? I said, no, you need to bring my father that voted here. And I mean it. I'm writing INEC soon. I'm going to Abuja soon. Because INEC too are using people who are, they are not even in existing. And this LASIEC want to go and bring all voters card through INEC. Not that they, you understand, these are areas that we not need to work on. I'm thinking, I need to send my daughter to US before it can be something while I'm in Nigeria. Did you know what I would go through? And I believe if we want to achieve all these things, we need to go to electoral issue.
About the confrontation you had with them when you saw that your father's name.
Yes. When I saw my father's name on that list, I said, who voted here? He said the person has gone. I said, let me see the person. So I standed on, I want to see the person who voted. He said, is that your name? I said, can I show you my card? I show him my card. And he saw Lawal. He said, but you are not Mudashir. I said, my father is Mudashir. How did my father come here to vote? I want to know. So people in that my polling booth, they know me to become problem person. So I said, oh, all of you, thank God you know that my father is late. How did my father vote here?
How was it resolved? Did they say they were attentive? What did they say?
The LASIEC officials,
yes.
They don't even know what to say because they now know that there's a problem. Before you know, people who are coming, and Yoruba people, by the time this thing happened, they went to go and bring my mother. My mother said, Razak, so I need to leave because she's an elderly person. And I know if I started all those in my community, at times I always take her to the hospital the next day.
Is there evidence that something similar like that happened in that same polling unit or anywhere else?
Yes, the one I can say about is the one I said, my father. If they go to LASIEC today and bring all those documents, they will see where they that he voted, which he never.
All right.
And last, INEC too. I'm telling you categorically, if you can work together with us today, somebody, because I do this very well, somebody tell me, now INEC printed about 4 voters card with my name alone. If they will start this 25, I want to go and collect another one to tell, I'm giving the whole world that this is the problem we are facing.
So you said INEC?
INEC printed my name more than 2 times.
More than 2 times?
Yes, I collected one. Not this election, before this election. I'm citing it that before this election, I collected one. People who know me in my community say, I saw your card again, I said, I'm coming to collect. By the time I get there, they say, we have closed for this year. I say, I'm coming again, when you start.
So you have not seen that.
People, you know, if...
So you can't, that one, we will say, okay, just let
Okay, when I get it, I'll come. Let me just, I will bring it to you.
Okay. Something else you would like to add?
The only thing I want to let you understand is, I want all of us to be very careful and let us understand that it's a serious business we need to go on and go and achieve. Take it for example, mention for me in any local government you have seen that LASIEC announced the number a councillor or chairman used to win. All those numbers, go and bring it. It's not easy, 0.
All right, thank
we
you
all need
very
to follow
much,
them very well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, we need...
Okay.
I mean, each person's experience is unique to them. This is actually strange for somebody's dead father to be voting. I mean, but let's hear further experience from people who were there.
Yeah, so Ambassador Moye Badejo, please come forward.
Okay. Let him come forward so everybody can actually see. Please hold the mic this way. Try not to hold it this way so there's no open hand.
Good day, everyone. My name is Ambassador Moye Badejo. From Labour Party. I contested in Koshofa local government for the councilship position. First of all, I'd like to say is LASIEC failed us because LASIEC has just one job, which is to conduct elections in Lagos State, which is our only job. And it's painful that throughout that process, it was a night to election around 9 p.m. that I got my polling unit agent's tag. So it automatically gave me stress in how to distribute those tags to my polling unit agent. Also, we had to go and screen for the election, but to our surprise, LASIEC allowed the ruling parties to do their screening before, like 2 days before, but we, the opposition parties, we did our screening on the last day of the screening. So if, for example, you didn't bring a particular document, you have to go back and bring it. When you bring it, they'll tell you they've closed for the screening. So automatically that, distressed a lot of candidates trying to go and bring voters, sponsorship voters card. That's 2. 3, in my own particular ward where I contested, I have video evidences I've sent to them already, where LASIEC officials themselves were printing for APC. And when I saw the results, I saw 5,000 voters. In my ward, the highest votes that won a council position is 1,250 in the past 3 years. I had all the facts, I had all the figures that, okay, if I could get 10 voters per polling unit, that's 79 polling units, I would have 790 votes. I got 990 votes in the last election, and APC came and said they got 5,000 voters, 5,004. And so what happened to me was where I voted, my particular polling unit, was that when I got there, I saw an APC agent. When I came, you bring out your voter's card, she wrote down your name. So I thought that was how it was every other place. Only for me to go around, to go and people telling me that, Moyo, a friend of mine that did LASIEC official told me that the night before the election, they told them that they give them food, give them money, that if you can see anybody come with a white handkerchief and paint his face 3 times, allow him 2 times. He was an official in Oworo. He voted. If anybody comes with a white handkerchief on his face and, holds an handkerchief, allow him vote multiple times. In my ward, people were voting with ATM cards, ID cards and different things. It's very sad that that was not an election process. It was more of a selection, and it was painful for me because I ran against a 62-year-old man that hasn't done anything and doesn't know even the name of the streets in my community. But we'll keep on pushing and we'll never relent. Thank you very much.
All right, just to reiterate, you said people are voting with ATM cards as a form of identification in your ward.
Was that approved prior to the exercise?
All right. Well, at this point, we want to give an opportunity for candidates who did participate. So we'll be taking a few. Please, if you are a candidate, we just want to give it a few minutes. Show of hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Please, strictly 6. 2 minutes. 2 minutes, strictly. Thank you. Please introduce yourself, the ward you contested for.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Editor-in-Chief Daniel. So I contested for the position of councillorship in Ward E, Mende, Maryland. That's under Koshofe local government. So I don't think I'm going to spend 2 minutes here. But I will just tell you a few things I noticed. All right. So on that day, before then, LASIEC was our major problem. The documents they asked us to bring on the day of screening were documents we submitted a month before. And it was on that day of the screening, when we got there, I saw that woman, she's fair like this. That was when she came out with an A4 document and said, everybody should come with original documents of all your... I was like, madam, what do you mean? And she ran back inside. And that was where the problem started. We all had to start going to be looking for our original certificates up and down, which was not stated in the message they sent to us. Now, fast forward to the day of election. All right, one of the polling units, my polling unit agents called me and said, there's a woman here monitoring people voting, what party people are voting for. So I went down there and I met the woman gallantly seated close to the cubicle. And I went straight to the LASIEC officials and I asked them, I said, please, I just want to ask you a question. Is it right that this woman is seated here? And the guy answered me, he said, no. I said, no. And what have you done about it? He said, we've been telling her, but she's not. And I told them, I said, I once worked as a presiding officer. This would never have happened in my polling unit. And I told the woman, in a respectful way, I respected her and I told her, madam, can you please move? And we started having that till she stepped out. And the officers were there. The police officers were there. And I was looking at them and I said, officer, is this what you're here to do? Now, another thing I want to say is this. I think we have to get to a point where all candidates should have a cameraman that will be following them up and down. Because they would start asking you, where is your proof? And they will still be the ones to tell you, don't camera my face. Because I had that plan. It was part of my plan. And while I was going to vote, a guy was following me with a camera. It was the officer that first started. Please take this away. I said, oh God, what's happening? Okay? So, and I will tell you, in my polling unit, I was about, let's say, like 10th in number to vote. When I got there, after I finished voting, I was watching the officials, the LASIEC officials. Nobody asked me to bring out my fingernails to put the ink. So I did like this, and they were both looking at me, what is he saying? I said, oh. Then one of them was like, we have not been marking people's fingers. I said, can you imagine? Then she started counting back to know how many people had voted without that. Then the other one said, come in now. I said, it's really mean. It actually mean. Don't do this anymore. So how many can we count? I mean, the way our election has gone, there was no election. I'm telling you, all this nonsense has to stop. Thank you.
All right, quickly, before you go, could you tell us your name and your party again?
Okay. My name is Adetayo Babatunde Daniel, a candidate for African Action Congress, AAC. Thank you.
All right. Who's the next? Yeah.
Okay. My name is Honorable Hen Solomon Akojenu. I contested under APP, Action People's Party. I applied.
Sorry to interrupt. Could you say your name again?
My name is Honorable Hen Solomon Akojenu. I'm indigenous of Lagos State from Badagry. I contest under APP from a mode of local government. and from the Riverine area. So I want to tell you our experience in the Riverine community. But before the election day, the surprise was that we applied through my state chairman. My state chairman is here, the president of my party is here. We applied and we were asked to come for documentation. To our surprise, we were deprived. My state chairman tried all they could. Later, they have to form a coalition with other parties to make sure that they push for all candidates that were deprived of doing their documentation. But to no avail. Our people have spoken well, but I want to digress a little bit. My problem is that we, the opposition, we need to wake up. Because I don't see, because at the point, they had to be invited to sign a peace power with the CP, in the CP office. Initially, when they went there, they took their stand that they would not sign. But I was later surprised. I don't know what made them to later sign that peace part when they did not see the light of the day. Because Yoruba will say, you can't expect a man in power who is enjoying the juices of power to just leave the power for you like that. Why did they go ahead to sign that peace party? Because if the whole thing has started, if the whole wahala has started from the first day where the peace party issue comes up, maybe by now we need to be where we are. Number two, now you are taking a report from us. Organizers, please. I am an activist. This thing we are doing, will you have human face at the end of the day? What is the next step from here? That we want to know. Not just to come and talk, and after our report turn to a script that the ruling party can also make use of it to do us, to tackle us in the next election. So therefore, what are we moving from here after all said and done? But to me, my people and my team, after highest in 2 weeks' time, I will be in the court, just as some candidates have also done. So I want to employ every candidate and every local government to form a coalition to push independently for this issue. Because all of us here now we are in dark. We wouldn't know whether it's the ruling party that organized what we are doing here. For them to know, to study what we are doing so that they know how to tackle us in 2027. Yes, because they have all their eyes everywhere. They are on top of media, they are on top of judiciary, they are on top of churches, they are on top of this thing. So the organizer should tell us the next step from here. If not after this, we may not come again. And if we discover tomorrow that our script or our contribution here is submitted to the ruling party, we will sue you. I'm taking it clear. I've been quiet this. It is on here. We declare this thing, Ambode, a terrorist. It was in this hall. It was in this hall we declared Jonathan or the Madam Suru. Because for me to come from Rivana and cross water to this place is not a small joke. It was here we declared Jonathan an extremist in an international interview with BBC. So after this step, what is the next thing? Let us know. We need the report to support our cases because this has to stop. And for opposition, please, we should not handle this thing as if you are in America. 2007 should be eye for eye, tooth for tooth. If you really want to get power, if you keep on talking till next tomorrow, you are on your own. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you. You know, this is why we have conversations so that people can speak up. Believe it or not, I know there's a lot of skepticism as to whether there are people in authority that are listening. They are. It might not seem so, but they are. Even if you're not speaking to the people in authority, you're speaking to people who are participating in the process, who should know that we need to take action. We're continuing this conversation with a collation officer, Okibie Emmanuel. We want him to come and talk to us. You are Amal Dolphin, yes. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, my name is Pastor Emmanuel Okibie from Amuwodo of the Labour Party. So I was the collation officer for my ward. You know, as a collation officer, I went around my ward and other places. So there's something I noticed. In some polling units, we had APC members as LASIEC officials, because we know that. I wanted to take their pictures and video, but because of the tout they had around them, I could not do that. But I know that I can even get an evidence because I know them. So can you have APC people as LASIEC? I expect the election to go well. And LASIEC said something about qualification. It could be a PO or SPO. They did not follow that. Apart from them not bringing materials to so many, there are cases where boys were on Okada. Even they said, we are highly disappointed. We are supporting them. Yeah, police people, those boys, they have guns. They'll come there and they'll thumbprint it. So what is the duty of the policeman there? They went around, even some of my agents that tried to stop them, they beat them up and he had a policeman there. He could not do anything, so we're highly disappointed. So this is not an election. So what they did was, they want people to even take law into their hands. It's really, really terrible. We had, my ward, we had like 80 polling units. In like 36, they did not bring materials. I could not vote. I went to my polling unit, because there was no LASIEC official there, I could not vote. I said it happened in so many other places. So we are surprised when, at the end, they said that this councillor had 6,000, this one had that one. Then what about the scores of other local government? If you go to LASIEC website, what you see is, you see their candidates, and you see their scores. Then what about the other parties? And another thing they did was, LASIEC said they are going to announce results at the polling unit, then take it to the collation office. By the time I got to my collation office, there was nothing there, there was no LASIEC. So what they did was, they moved from the polling unit straight to council office, which should not be. And they did not allow us to come in. So I could not sign that form, I think from LASIEC form for collation office officer. I could not sign it. But they didn't allow people to come in, and they are telling us that they did an election. It is really, really very bad. Very bad. They were just asked parties, do not contest, let us just sit down. And they all they knew what happened, people are not talking. The police really disappointed. Thank you very much. I don't want to get emotional. Thank you.
Some members of the political party.
Yes.
Can you verify this, sir?
Yes, I know some of them as APC member in Amu Odofi. They worked as, I could not take video of them. Because I know them. I could not take video of them. But if I want, I can even get them. I could not take video of them, but I saw them. I said, what are you doing here?
All right. It's actually just to say that I've seen the stories online as well of accusations of some party members being members, staff of LASIEC. But I mean, we'll need to perhaps get some of that. Very much for your submission. We have a curious development that, I mean, I was a bit surprised when the producer called me now, told me that we have Engineer Peter Adundum. Yes, he has something. Yeah, Engineer Peter. Okay, go ahead. What do you have with you here?
Yes, I have evidence with me because the election. To me, that wasn't an election.
Okay, hold on. You need to tell us your name and in what capacity you participated in the process.
Yes, my name again is Engineer Pastor Adendo Newland Peter. I actually contested under the platform of ADC Councillor Amu Odofi Oriade. On that very day, actually, we had a lot of descriptions. And my agent, we told them, because we got an information before the election date, that LASIEC were going to be using their own people to do a lot of nonsense, and we were ready for them. If you look at my hand now, you will see an evidence that I have to prove. This was actually given to one of the LASIEC officials. And I want you to know that most of the LASIEC officials were all APCs.
What exactly do you have in your
These are
hand?
the evidence.
Could you open it so that we can put it on, the camera can take it?
These are the evidence.
Sure.
There's no way I
Sure.
gotten this if not from.
Hold on. Please, let's do this the right way, right?
Yes, these are the ballot papers that was taken from one of.
Albert, can you get it? Can you get this? Or do you need me to come closer to the camera? These are alleged papers, ballot papers, thumb-printed. Is this? They seem to all have been thumb-printed.
Yes.
And it's from
In favor
of APC.
Of the APC party.
Yes,
that's what
APC.
is shown here. So how did you get this?
This was gotten from my own agent.
Your agent.
Your agent?
Is this actual? How do you know this? Okay, behind
Let me
this
explain.
paper, seems to be stamp of the date of the. New Central cannot independently verify this, but we are looking at it, and it looks like actual ballot papers with the LASIEC stamp behind. And the date of the election, which is on the 12th of July, 2025.
I think you should give more clarity to this. Yeah.
Yes, these were all given. I want to tell you all that almost all the LASIEC staffs have this with them. Whether you want to believe it or not, I am telling you the truth. This was gotten from them. What happened is that when they put this thing inside, my agent was very, very attentive. So immediately they put it inside. He came there and collected it. He put it inside his pocket. They beat him, slapped him. He couldn't retrieve this. They couldn't retrieve this from him. That was exactly what happened. The one for, if you look at it this very well, this is for the chairmanship. The one for the councillorship fell off from the lady, unknowing to her.
So, sorry, you said your agent picked this.
Yes, no, he went to the place where they put it, the box itself, brought it out because he was there when they put it. So he went and took it.
Why did
individual person?
No, it wasn't an individual.
To put
this was put.
It was in bulk.
In bulk, exactly, in bulk. These are the evidences. They couldn't retrieve it from him because they slapped him, beat him. He couldn't. He put it inside his pocket. They wanted to kill him. But see, camera, look, let me tell you the truth. There was a video. There was a video on this. Do you know that the police people there came to collect the phone from the person who videoed it? They say if they deleted everything from, how can we get evidence like that? How do we want to progress in where we have illegality everywhere? I don't want to talk too much, please.
I mean, so after this, what happened next?
That is exactly what I'm telling you. He took this, and these are the evidences we have from here.
All right.
Okay.
So I wanted
you need to face the camera. Which of the camera? Okay. Okay, face that camera over there. You need to hold it so we can actually see it properly. Again, we reiterate that this is a submission by someone who was part of the process. Could you tell us your name again? So,
my name is Engineer Adindo Peter Newland.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you very much.
Right, so the good thing about the submissions today is that before most of you came on, we had conversation with one of our live breakfast programs, Jasiri, where we discuss issues. And my conversation with the the cohort chairman of the election board, right? Electoral College, yes. Electoral College. One of the things that we said was this is almost like a data collection policymakers and researchers to listen to the people who are part of the process. So before we go on to the next segment, we will be looking at some of the submissions that have been given.
All right.
It is quite painful that we've not had somebody who has come up to say that they had a good experience with the process. I almost forgot what I was going to say. We have the police officers here. An allegation was placed against police officers, so you need to stay around for their response when the time comes.
All right. Let's move to the next segment. Quite a number of us have something to say, but we are really trying to manage time. I can assure you that we will try as much as possible to accommodate as many feedbacks as we can. So for this particular segment, we will be looking at reflections, particularly from the party's leadership, challenges in the process, and also proposed solutions for future elections. So I'll be calling forward Rooney Diko Killer. She's the chairman of the NNPP Lagos State Chapter. All right, so please kindly come with me.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. I'm of the NNPP and we did not take part in the elections. As a party, our main objective is to serve the people and adhere to the tenets of democracy. We did not participate, we did not participate in the elections because we were doing a disservice to our members and to the people of Lagos as a whole. Our withdrawal, as a matter of fact, was aimed to draw attention that for an urgent need for electoral reforms that will guarantee transparency, that will guarantee fairness and adherence to the rule of law. As you all know, the Supreme Court ruling only recognizes 20 local government elections. 37 LCDA is a scam by Lagos State. It's not approved by the Supreme Court. So we felt that it would be a disservice to our members and to the people of Lagos State to take part in the sham elections. From the onset, there's this fundamental irregularities and illegalities and a clear disregard for the rule of law by LASIEC. If you recall, the guideline for the elections of the political parties, yes, and so because we went to LASIEC office to have a meeting, and they apologized to us that they are sorry that that happened. And then we also questioned why they need participants to pay for nomination forms. And even when some have paid for the nomination forms, it was difficult to assess the payment at the bank. You will go there, they will say you don't have the right code, this and that, and so on and so forth. I know you all know what I'm talking about, especially the chairman of the political parties. So our refusal, we as a party, NNPP, we refuse to lend legitimacy to a process that is fundamentally flawed and designed, to produce a pre-orchestrated result. We know, I'm not surprised that you guys are here talking and talking because I expected it to be so. We know that this election cannot be free and fair. And it has become a norm in Lagos State that any election, because they are in power, is never free and fair. So all the complaints are true. They themselves know it's true. If I were a participant from APC, once I'm able to get through with the primaries, I know that I will enter, I will win. I know I will win. So I don't know how this can be corrected. And this is what informed our decision as a party not to participate in the election. Maybe it will send signals to others, I don't know. But We know what our country is. So
I really would be curious as to what our political analysts and watchers would say about non-participation in the process and, you know, in what we're trying to achieve. But I mean,
Yes.
it's your right to decide what part you want to take. This is a fair point to quickly just say that a lot of accusation has been laid at the doorstep of LASIEC. It is imperative that we say, as a platform, that we reached out, we sent out letters, they acknowledged that the producer has been on the phone with the PRO for days, only for them at the last minute to say they even, let's have a representative. We cannot have the chairman here, but they said they couldn't make it at the last minute. But this will not stop the conversation from happening. It is the people of Lagos who have a right to know what went down with the process. All right, we'll continue. And we need to have all the chairmen speak. So
let's Kayode Akintemi is the chairman of Action Alliance, Lagos State Chapter.
Thank you very much. Thank you for giving us this platform to speak. Everybody has said stuff here.
I'm sorry to have to ask you to do this. Just introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is,
so that the people in the
background. My name is Kayode Akintemi. I'm chairman Lagos State of Action Alliance. Everyone has spoken today, the councillors, the chairmanships, and all that. We all have had our experiences. I might a bit, disagree with my honourable chairman, Madam Ronnie, of not wanting to participate. You cannot say you will not because people are doing wrong. You have to be there. You just can't sit down. When there's a war, you can't sit down at home. You have to go to battle. We hold the ACs for the masses. We have to be out there to talk. We can go back and forth and talk back and forth. We all know the truth. What we are seeing now is just a fully grown baby. From the beginning of politics in this country, that's how it has been. It has always been like that. And we just keep complaining. There are only two things that can solve this thing. And I keep saying it. It is electoral reforms, like she said, and national orientation. How can we say we are coming out to do elections for councilorships in a ward that has over maybe 500 people? One party won by 4 votes, 4 to 5. That means only 10 people came out to vote within that vicinity. So what are we, is that an election? So 10 people decided the fate of over 1,000 people in a particular area. If we do not work on those electoral reforms, which electoral reform is just simple, fairness and inclusivity. Once you are fair and you include everybody, not one person has an idea to rule an entire people. If you bring your idea, if I bring my idea, we put it together and do something. We can't say that it's only the ruling party that has the only idea that can make all of us work. It's impossible. Inclusivity is very important, and those will come with electoral reforms. But we keep going back and forth and talking about the same old thing. From the beginning of BDP to now AC to APC, it's the same old thing. We need to, as opposition, we need to come together and get more people involved.
All right.
There are people that have on their phone 4.5 million followers. 4.5 million followers, and they will not come out to vote at all. You can imagine that influence. They don't come out. So there's no way we can fight this thing without electoral reforms and inclusivity. Let us get more people involved.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, so I'll be of course passing the mic right now to the chairman of African Democratic Congress, that's George Asher, Lagos State Chapter.
All right. Good afternoon. Gentlemen, just toss me straight into the middle of the ocean. Yes, I agree. Well, I know the subject matter that's being discussed is about the kind of democracy we're practicing, especially with reference to the local government elections. Right?
Hello? This is hearable?
Okay, so we're good.
Hearable? Thank you. Now, this is the observation of the party chairman that has already been shared. Party chairman, going through the electoral process, particularly in Lagos State, face a lot of hurdles. And one of the hurdles that party chairman face is a sense that there's a tradition that is on ground. And that tradition favors a particular type of candidates or a particular type of party. And it's become a whole generation, 26 years, of the same thing, the same people. And for a change this year, this town hall meeting is exposing the fact that not everybody is comfortable with that arrangement. We want a multi-plural democracy. We do not want a democracy where it's just like my brother said, it's just one idea, one methodology, one system, one way, one answer. And so we are hoping that the electorate who actually decide who governs them. Lagos State has the lowest voter turnout in Nigerian elections. Lagos State has the lowest voter turnout in Nigerian elections. People don't come out to vote in Lagos. And in fact, when people come out, unfortunately, what you're also going to find that because it's a cosmopolitan society, certain types of people feel disenfranchised. So they don't want to come out because they have been told they don't belong. They are only here to pay tax. We want your tax, but we don't want your votes. That is one of the things we need to change. That's why we are appealing directly to the electorate. Take charge of your democracy. It is all yours after all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, so I would, at this point, be giving the mic to the...
Let me join my colleague and just say, please, let's keep to time.
Exactly.
We've spent more time on the segment than we are originally. It is valuable contribution, of course. That's why we had to allow it. But please, let's keep our submissions as short as possible. Thank you.
All right, so let's pass the mic right now to Adeyemi Abiola. She's the chairperson for the Action People's Party, Lagos State Chapter.
Good afternoon. My name is Mrs. Adeyemi Abiola, State Chairperson for Action People's Party, APP. Well, I really appreciate everyone, and I appreciate the New Central for this opportunity because it's been a while, and this election is of no use. I'm telling you, in the history of election, no, we don't want to know. There was one woman leader that was even pointing, we will slap you, we will slap you. I said, madam, calm down. If you want the result of this election, slap me then you will get results. Please, I think this is high time. The other party has to stood up on our feet. The reason is, I have to advise us, even the opposition party, we have to be in line before election. We only come out during election. We have lot to do, a lot work in hand to do. Well, another election is coming in 2027, which we have to do a lot of work, so that the winning party. Please, thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. One thing I would say I've pretty much noticed is that many of us talked about voter apathy and the fact that this particular election, people didn't really, permit me, come out to vote. But another question again is, how much of a role, if you're to be sincere, as party members, are we playing in this? Most of the time, we only get active during election season. That's the reality. After elections, it's silent again. The season is silent. So I think when it comes to voter education, awareness and all, it should be a continuous process. And it starts from community development. Even before elections, let the community feel the presence of the party. Indeed. It's not when it's time for elections, we start seeing flyers everywhere. I just thought to mention that. But we are still, of course, taking feedback from chairman of the party. For chairmen that are around, please, if you've spoken as a candidate, I'd like to appeal for the sake of time. Please do not show, don't raise your hand. We want to give the opportunity, for those that have not spoken. So if you're a chairman, you're around, you've not spoken, please show of hands. Thank you. All right.
Okay, thank you everyone. Okpeni Nathaniel Oluwakemi is my name. And I'm from Ibejuleki, local government area of Lagos State. All I could say is this election is nothing but fraud from the onset to the ending of it. For people that actually said it started when they actually want to register the processing, I was involved. In the first place, they told me that non-validation, they wrote it on my list, on my name. And I went there, everything you want me to present, presented. Now, somebody who had nothing, they're asking for 20 sponsorship cards. This person has got nothing. I have the evidence on my phone here, I can send it to you. And the person was validated. And I asked them, what is the effect of this? They said, it's no effect. I have effect for it, because after election, if I won that election, the party that lost the election will go back and they will, tell you that how can a candidate that's not validated win an election? That be as it may. The funny thing is, the next step that you could see there is, those people that interviewed us are I won't use one word, but I have to use that word, they are rascals. Yes. You want to interview somebody, present already, because I did not paste my photograph, and you begin to lambast me. I waited there. And after a while, he said, you can go and take that and staple it. It is from the beginning fight. They don't even want us. At some point, they told us that we are Igbos that want to take over Nigeria. And I told them, Okpeni is the name in Ibejuleki. Two people bear that name. Yeah, what's up? And many of us were Yoruba. It's because we are tired of their government. And under the influence of poverty, when people are weaponized with poverty, you want them to go out and be beaten again. Definitely nobody will go out. And for the little that went out, they risked their lives. My AGA chairman, I have to call me in the presence of Onibeju Palace. They have to squeeze his glasses. He couldn't see enough for his life. To the point where we still have some of them, they cannot even present the copies of the result. And I still have as evidence on my phone here. If you want it, I'll give you. Where the election was finally counted in the office of the current, the incumbent, chairman of the local government. Nobody was allowed in. I got a tag and I moved around the whole of the local government. And at the point, I got to the place with the collection center and they said you cannot come in. How come the chairman that was there now came in and it was counted? The only place where we saw success or election happening there was in a place called Akodo, where there is military, barracks there, and the election went where you could see APP, you could see PDP, and that is the beauty of democracy. Now, the truth of the matter is this: we are getting to a point where we talk so much in this country. That's the truth. We have been talking. See, when we talk here and there is no action, it won't just work. These people are bent on talking. Being a Christian or a Muslim as an individual, which law will they obey? So let me just cut it off that way. Please, I want to beg us. Don't give up. Look for every other option of getting evidences against people. One day, we'll see the right judge over this. Thank you. My name is Okpeni Nathaniel Oluwakemi. Thank you. Labour Party.
Right, thank you very much. That's from the Labour Party. I'll be, of course, bringing up someone right now from the YPP.
Thank you very much. My names remain Jayola Mobolaji Olusegun, YPP Chairman, Lagos. Everything that has been said here today is true about the election, right from the processing. I had a personal encounter with the LASIEC chairman on several cases. On the night before election, I have agent lists that have almost 4,000 names. As at 9:30, Friday night, on the 11th, I was given 310 pieces of agent card. How does it go around 14 local governments? They said I should go and do photocopy around 9:30 to 10 on Friday. Election is on Saturday. On Saturday morning, when the election was going on, an issue happened that the local government chairman came from his ward A, ward C to ward E, and ordered LASIEC staffs to take the ballot paper, 6 boxes for 6 polling units. It's for 6 polling units in Agege. I have the video of him at the collection center here. He took them to his office. I called the police PRO. He said I should call the commissioner. I called the commissioner of police that so thing is happening in Agege on the election day. He said he will look into it. He didn't call back. Only for us to see that APC won the election, what he. And around after the election, after the ballot paper was taken away, Egun Jobi was seen at Ward Hill Collection Center. What was he doing there? It's not an agent, he's a sitting chairman of Agege. One out of many. Somewhere in Amu Ward of it, they took, in fact, let me make it clear. LASIEC use voter register, but did not use polling unit arrangements. They did not use the beavers that could really justify the voters in that place. And in many places, they will bring a voter register that does not match with the voters in that place. Election did not take place here. Where did Madam Igile see the vote she counted to justify the election on Sunday? I sent a message to her personally that, Madam, there's a lot of irregularity with this election. Please, see all the party chairman before you announce the result. A few minutes after the result was announced. They will not listen to you. Even during the process of the election, we were in his office and my office several times to say a lot of things, but she will not listen. So this election is nothing. In fact, we are the only thing that can electronic voting. Vote online. Because if you see make use of agents, make use of all these things, there will always be malpractice.
All right.
Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. Quickly, let's listen to the chairman of the party in the state.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's actually a full event, 2025 local government election. Okay, Honorable Dele Oladeji, Accord Party Chairman, Lagos State. We had an election where the opposition were systematically rigged out of the election, and the ruling party were stage managed and declared as winner. It's very funny for the very first time that after election we are not even fighting against the ruling party that were declared as winner. It is even the electoral umpire that we are fighting against. So for the very first time, we had an election where the umpire is even a participant in the election, because we opposition party actually contested against LASIEC. That's the fact of it. There's a lot of anomaly, and it's very shameful that Lagos State, that have a slogan of the set of excellence, is now a portrayal or a display of electoral anomaly and a rape of democracy. And it's shameful that a ruling party, you are in government for 4 years, let's say the recent governance, you are in office for 4 years, and you can't even come out and contest or compete in a free and fair election. People talk about voters' apathy. I want us to have something clear in our mind. It's not that Lagosians are not electorally civic or enlightened. They know what they are supposed to do. But even the interview throughout that election day, Lagosians were saying, we won't go to vote because we know they will rig the election. So in a situation whereby you have 1,000 eligible voters and only 25 or 20 came out to vote, it means the opposition controls the majority of Lagosians that are eligible voters. That's the fact. If majority didn't go to the vote, it means their sympathy is with the opposition party. Sure you get. So the reality is Lagosians are tired of the ruling party in Lagos State. And the ruling party are to a large extent destroying democracy in Lagos State. And it's very shameful.
I just needed to just say something quickly to your submission. On the flip side of voter apathy, what the message I'm getting, because sometimes in complaints you get some real quality lesson. The more actual people come out to vote, the lesser the chances of the process being sabotaged. So the more you sit at home and choose not to participate in the process, the more you allow for damages to happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, at this point, I will, of course,
can we,
please,
we'll get to as many.
We all want to speak. Please, 1 minute. Thank you. Thank you. We'll
Okay, excuse me, attention please, attention please. Sorry, Dakbo. This is live television. We cannot have people talking and we're not getting to you. Just come, call my attention, I'll come to you and we'll talk, please. Thank you.
All right, thank
ahead.
you so much, Felicity. Let's listen to the chairman of the AAC, Lagos State.
All right. Thank you so much, News Central, for this event. I don't want to take time, so I wrote some of my points. First, I want to say clearly that we don't have a ruling party in Lagos. We have a reunion party. They are destructive in their process, in their policies, in their approach, in their character, and in their manners. It's not only your LASIEC officers that were APC members. The commissioners of LASIEC and the chairman herself, they are APC members. We challenged them in some of the processes we had. And she said, well, you might have seen some of us have been carry members before, but now, how do you change? Are you a child? That you are an adult suddenly, because of the given position, you forgot that you are an APC member. And they have further ruined our democracy. And we are not saying 2027. Why are we talking about 2027? Are we accepting this nonsense? We are not accepting it. We did not have an election on July 12, 2025. There was no election. It was a show of shame and a sham for Lagos State, of all places. So why are we saying, oh, wait to 2027? This election will be cancelled. It is in the hands of Lagosians, we political party members that are here, to make sure that it's cancelled with all these irregularities. I heard that the IGP came into Lagos maybe the day before, I'm not sure, probably the PRO can confirm. What did they do? So the IGP is so useless that he cannot allow election to be properly conducted. Same with the CP. What was their duty? You also, our police officers were sleeping and collecting bribe. We have videos. Somebody should be telling us, bring evidence. Videos are everywhere. Posters of our keeping some for court processes. They were practically useless. Collecting money, sitting down, eating, drinking, and laughing. Even protecting the thugs and the APC members that were making sure election was rigged. How do you do an election without accreditation? Your process was entirely manual, even for the registration. All right, do this manual process very well. No! There was no accreditation. There was double voting. People were given ballot boxes, and they were just competing like madmen. That is the word that we use. These people have lost their mind, and they are hell-bent on ruining our democracy. Even though we don't even have one, we are still managing to piece it together. The chairman of LASIEC should be sacked. And the commissioners, Omombolande Ijile, sacked. It was a terrible process, and they planned to fail. It was not a mistake. It was not a... No, they planned to fail at the beginning. Allow political parties, adults, people that are doing their work to go into a process, put all their strength, and you give them a nonsense process? How possible will APC win all the seats? As useless as those local government chairmen are and their councillors. Is that what they live in? But they disenfranchise everybody. What are we saying? The election should be cancelled. That woman should be sacked. The CP should be sacked for the process that police officers did. Sleeping, collecting money, being useless throughout all locations. Even on the road, they were collecting money. Nothing concerned them. I went to Oshodi. Oh yes, we have evidence. I've sent some of the evidence to your producers, and we're still going to use more in court of police officers collecting money. A lot of 30,000 it's in you, when they come from you, police agent 20,000 it's in you. That was how shameless they were. And to finally conclude, shame on the ballets, Oluwo or whatever, that are in this Lagos. We have to understand that our traditional seat has been destroyed. We have useless men as obas, useless men and ballets that were involved in the rigging of this election. And we are going to take back this Lagos, no matter what they do.
Ladies and gentlemen, Okay, I really need to remind us again of the House rules. I understand that we are all passionate about this subject, but these are fellow human beings. Irrespective of their conduct, they still deserve a measure of respect. So please, let's moderate our language. I know that there are some persons that are getting antsy. I need you to also be patient. The conversation, we were supposed to time this strictly, but sometimes when somebody is making a very hearty submission, to cut him off awkwardly is weird. So we're allowing people to speak a little more. So please, we have segments. I'll just let you know so you know that we will come to you eventually. The chairman, we will come to observers' reports, your submission, your experiences as well, and then we will talk to the audience. And if there are voters here who would like to share their experience as well, we will give you time to do that. So I'm asking that please be patient. We will get to you. This is your platform. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Just also to remind us, strictly.
Of course, I handed the mic over to the chairman of Zen in Lagos State Chapter, for his good remark.
Okay. Is not. You are. Okay, but you've spoken before as a candidate. Okay, then I'm sorry, we can't take you. Right now, let's take our next chairman. Please kindly introduce yourself and the party.
Thank you very much. My name is Duru Festus. Actually, I'm the Lagos State Secretary of the African Democratic Congress. My chairman, seated here, has spoken the position of the party. And I think in order not to overboard the House, let the microphone go to the next chairman.
All right. Thank you very much. If you are a chairman and you haven't spoken, you're a chairman of a party? Okay. We'll give you just a minute, please, so that we can go on to other people. I can see you really want to speak. So go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is John Ademola Akmo, the Labour Party chairman candidate for Etiosa local government. What I want to say is that everybody has spoken, and what we need to do is, what are the plans and the strategies we are putting in place for 2027 election? Because what really happened that very day shows that there was never election. It was a pure selection. There are a lot of videos. I have my own evidences here. I have a lot of guys that were people that were chased out with bottles and cutlasses because they don't even want Labour Party to near that place. Some of my agents gave me reports that they were seated there. The people that came to cast their votes are now even up to 20 people. And they saw them counting over 100 for APC. Where did these people come from? So if we are talking and we are talking every time, what we need to do now is the strategy against what? We might disagree for this election. And another thing that happened again, which I don't understand, they went ahead to announce the results, declare themselves as a winner. Then nobody second. Yes, nobody. There is nobody from Labour Party has so score. This APC, PDP has so. There was no. And we accept that kind of results. So it is now that everybody needs to rise up and what? Let's put all our strategies together and fight. Because if we don't fight, this is same thing is going to reoccur in 2027. You can see that these guys are fully well equipped. They were having meetings upon meetings upon meetings, putting up strategies upon strategies. In politics, we have plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D, TEF. Anyhow, the plan must be. But that is the same thing we all need to start doing now. If it's for us to come together as one and fight this holy Armageddon, we need it, please and please. So, because what really happened, in fact, it was just a shame of electoral practices.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you for keeping to time. So, because of time, please, let's move on to the next session in this conversation today. For those that are just tuning in, you are... Can you just, please? Thank you, thank you. If you're just tuning in, we are here on the Chairman Dialogue. This is the second chapter, the second edition of the Dialogue, a platform to allow people to speak directly to voters and citizens of Nigeria, wherever you're watching us from. Also remember that you can participate, even though you're not here physically with us. Use our hashtag, Inside Lagos Politics, MC Lagos Dialogue. Just use a hashtag, find us on social media, and share your thoughts. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm being spoken to in my ear. It's distracting me. Okay, so we're going to go on to the Observer's Report, CSOs and NGOs, your independent assessment and observation of the process, your rating of LASIEC's performance and electoral integrity. I mean, the seeming consensus so far is not so much of trust and respect for the process, but would like to hear from your independent assessment if all the concerns that have been shared by the party chairman and candidates and some coalition officers as well is in line with your observation. I'll start with Yaga Africa, Vivian Emosong, Lagos State Focal Person. You're also on the Watching the Vote project. Thank you for the patience you've had so far. All right.
Thank you very much. First, I want to appreciate News Central for this event. The fact is that as an observer for Yaga Africa, we have our observers all over the local government. So we have 57 observers for this election, the LCDAs and the local governments. And we have selected polling units that we deployed our observers to. I'm not going to go back to say what you have said. We got the reports that what you saw, we saw it. However, I think that our coming together is to find a way forward so that looking forward or moving forward, we can have a better elections in Lagos State. Because Lagos has always proved itself to be the center of excellence. So not all the talking like we have said, but I'm looking forward to that. At the end of this meeting, we should have a communique to say, okay, this is what we are taking back to the commission or whoever is responsible. We have made some of these recommendations, so we need to put them down. I have been able to just put down some things that I think should be a way forward for us going forward. First, we've talked about the commission. They should stand as an independent body, not to be controlled by the state or any particular party. If the commission can stand on its own and have their law and stand on their law, because for Yaga, we are not looking at some of these things. What we are looking at are the processes. The commission says, we are going to do this. Did they do it? The centers are supposed to open by 8:30. Were they open at 8:30? For Yaga, the position for Yaga is that the election is an election without competition. So it's as if, yes, one person is doing it. There was no competition. Whereas election is supposed to be everybody competing. You know, so for us, there was no competition. And we are saying that there should, because a lot of the centers, we have issues of the arrivals of late material. Some centers open at 11:30, 12:30. Some of our report that we got from the field, some of them said, the observers are saying, they were just sleeping, nobody was there and all that. So there should be improved logistics for getting these materials to the polling unit. And then the security agents, you have said it all. There is need to train them. there is need to make them do what they are supposed to do there. Not to sit at a corner, maybe collect their food, collect their money and all that. No, that's not why they are there. They have a reason for being there. And then the law, we have talked about electoral reform and inclusivity is very important. The LASIEC reform, LASIEC law should align with the electoral law. That way we can hold them seriously accountable to what they are not doing well. And I think that there is need for voters' education. Do you know, even till that morning, some people don't even know that election was going on. Because they don't even know what is going on. They are not interested, again, in anything election in Lagos State. So the opposition parties is also in your place. Because the only thing the common party is that, the one we know. But the opposition party, you should continue, don't wait until it is few time to the election before we begin to educate the people. Voters' education it's supposed to be a continuous thing so that we can get it right. Thank you very much.
I was hesitant to interrupt her because she was making some really valid points. I made a mistake with the hashtag earlier, just to correct. I was saying it off my head, so I missed it off. Inside Lagos Politics, if you're watching, that's the hashtag to use, Inside Lagos Politics, or you can use NC Lagos Politics. Those are the hashtags you can use to participate. Remember, we are live across Africa on DSTV 422, GoTV 23, Star Times 274, Avo TV. We are also live on YouTube, social media, so you can be part of the conversation. Just why today? Just to remind all of us why we're here. It is primarily so we have a platform to express our experience and share a way forward, like Yaga Africa has done. And of course, to reiterate that New Central is an impartial platform that allows people to express themselves and share their experiences. That said, let's continue with the Observer's report. We'll go to Cohort Manager, Electoral College Nigeria, Toluwanimi Alimson. We spoke and he shared his thoughts, but for some that didn't hear him, let's hear more. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Somehow we all have expressed our opinions. I call it opinions. Not just Lagos State, we want Nigeria to be better. What we do at the Electoral College is we all fall in love with Nigeria, regardless of whatever is going on here. And because of our love for Nigeria, anything all these town hall meetings, we have all these things said, but after that, what next? But we at the Electoral College have been doing so much and been engaging a lot of the youth, which is the bulk of the people in this nation, youth. We've been training people electoral, to make them electorally, politically literate. Because whether we like it or not, we are all looking for change. And that change would not just happen. Like one young man said, he is the age that he is, and the man that is deciding his future is almost about to go to the grave, right? We can't afford that. We have to have a prolonged system where the new generation will just slot into it. Now, we have a few solutions based on our report, based on the reports that we've gotten to. We are observers, so we have a lot of observers
around not just Lagos State, around Nigeria, actually. And we get a lot of reports from them. But the one we got for the July election in Lagos, everybody has said everything that we probably want to say. But these are our solutions. We are going to make it personal. We always want to make it personal. First and foremost, we realize that politicians can't really fight the government. You have to fight them based on the Constitution. So we always tell our students or our participants, please carry the Constitution of Nigeria on your phone. Carry it on your phone. Anything that has to do with politics or electioneering campaign, just go and read it. If you're interested in politics, read that. Go and study that. So when you study that, and then you see you are at a polling station or polling unit, and somebody is doing something, you can actually quote the Constitution, and the person will be like, hey, Jesus, they're afraid of you when you know the law. They are. Because if you're not quoting the law, you're just saying things, they will not budge. Quote the law, tell them, they will look at you twice, right? That's one. So we are saying that there should be public civic education campaigns. This should go around the nation, not just Lagos. Because whatever it is we see in Lagos, believe me, if presidential election is going to hold tomorrow, you will see a repeat of the same. There should be a public civic education campaigns around. And we at the Electoral College, we are ready to engage. We are ready to partner with anybody to do that. We are a non-party. We are not partisan. We are not with any party. Yes, we all have our political affiliations, but we are not going to stand here and start talking about APC, talking about, we'll talk about Nigeria. Yeah. Secondly, we are non-partisan, I said, non-partisan electoral literacy content. We should have that. I was just having a conversation with the young man sitting next to me. NOA needs a lot of this to do. If they are supposed to partner with some platform like NC, fine. Partner with Electoral College, please make it happen. Third one is, let me just fly. Opposition inclusion and monitoring framework. You don't see all opposition as your enemy. There are oppositions who want to make your work easier. Like somebody said earlier, we are supposed to be working for Nigeria, not for somebody. Yeah, that's just the bit we have. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. All right, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, for the sake of time, I would like to appeal that our next sets of speakers should please maintain the 2 minutes span. And of course, as to also allow for a lot of feedback, we have decided to extend this conversation by 30 minutes extra. So it's live for 30 minutes extra. In case you would like to also share links, we are not just live, on TV, we're also live online. You can share the link, across to your groups and space so that we have a broader conversation. All right, so I'll be inviting forward right now. Akongbe Jamiu Ekundayo is an election observer to come forward. Akongbe Jamiu Ekundayo. Please, strictly 2 minutes. While Shegun Nelson, Country Director, Young Global Leaders Network Nigeria, should be on standby. 2 minutes, strictly. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Jamiu Akongbe. I think there is nothing much I will share in addition, as my state vocal person has already shared from Yaga Africa. But then maybe just a suggestion from my point of view. Yeah, so first, I think from what the electoral body should have done, like the guidelines that they even published themselves. So one of the things that they were supposed to do before the election was this display of voters register which I think does not happen in some areas. So it's also difficult for some people to identify where they were supposed to vote. Then, like a number of people have also said, from the political party who are opposition as well, you know, in the announcement of the results, so they were supposed to state for other political party, but rather they state for one particular political party. You know, that may be understandable, maybe because, you know, the electoral body is actually financed by the state government, and then they are the incumbent in power. So that may also, you know, still. Then the other one will be that maybe suggestions, say for the governor, for example, being the #1 citizen in Lagos, and then being the one that is also financing the election. I think this should be a concern to say that, you know, where, you know, a number of people actually express their displeasure in the election by not, you know, coming out to vote, and a number of things that has happened as well. I think the governor should have also come out to say something with respect to what has happened, maybe to say, oh, we're going to look into it and see how maybe the legal system could also come in way to support those who were disenfranchised, and give them some kind of measures so that they could also believe in the electoral process. Thank you.
All right. All right. At this point, I'll be calling forward Nelson Ekujimi. Nelson Ekujimi is the Executive Director, Center for Rights and Grassroots Initiative, for his comments and remarks. 2 minutes.
Good afternoon, all. Okay. Good afternoon, all. First and foremost, I want to commend the New Central for this initiative. It's about deepening our democratic process. But sadly for me, is that I expected LASIEC to have been here. A lot of blames, a lot of allegations have been heaped on their neck. And I'm also happy that the police PPRO is here. The police have also taken a lot of bashing from the political parties here. What stands clearly is that as observers, we recognize that no election is perfect. Even where we are today, if some of you were around when we started conducting elections in 1999 and 2003, you know that this is even a child's play. When President Obasanjo was the Nigerian president, you see the type of elections we were conducting there. But we have moved further forward. One thing also stands out is that the parties, a lot of the allegations they are raising, as an observer, I kept on asking myself, what is the essence of the IPAC? I think inter-party advisory. I wonder what they are doing. The level of collaboration between IPAC or the essence of that body for political parties, I don't understand, because I listened to comments where party chairman or vice chairman said here that you go to a polling station, your party logo was not on the ballot paper, and you are saying election cannot hold. Do you know what the law says? You don't have a right to do that. If you observe any anomaly, the legal process is inbuilt into the electoral system. So parties have displayed crass ignorance about the electoral law. And I wonder what IPAC is doing about that. Then also we talk about the voters' apathy. The voters' apathy can be heaped squarely on the doorsteps of the parties, as well as because the media have always, mounted this slogan of local election, they stand for office. No, that is not true. If it's like one person said rightly here, then the chances of electoral malpractice will be minimized. But when you have a situation whereby you leave the field wide open, and we are all human beings, let us be honest with ourselves. Anything happens, somebody said party agents were bribed. Whose problem is that? It means you send somebody who is not trustworthy to be your eye there. So it's nobody's problem if your agent refuses to, carry out the responsibility assigned to him or her by your party. That means that person is not a good representative of your party. It's just like somebody going outside and selling his birthright for a pot of porridge. So you come and blame me or my father that didn't know why you gave back to your own son to sell his father's property or his right. So the election, as far as some of us are concerned, we observed that it started late in many pieces. I was even surprised when from reports we heard that it started early here in Ikeja. And somebody also mentioned about beavers. Beavers belong to INEC and not LASIEC. Yes, if LASIEC needs to procure beavers, they need budgetary approval to go and procure their own beavers. INEC will never give its own machine that is a clone for its own responsibility to a subnational. To every electoral body have their own rules of engagement. So by and large, I think a lot of us here need to go and intimate ourselves with the rules governing the conduct of elections in Nigeria. I've seen a lot of ignorance being displayed in that aspect. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Just to also set the record straight, News Central did reach out to LASIEC. We need to emphasize we were in communication with LASIEC, and we were told last minute that they would not be able to come. They would not be around. We reached out to LASIEC. News Central did reach out to LASIEC. So just to put that out there. I'll be calling forward
a lot of things when I came in, most especially from the candidate, party chairman, observers, and all the likes. A lot of fingers were pointed to law enforcement agencies who are on ground with no any action during the election. Well, once again, I will speak enforcement agency. I think their duty is to protect every voters. Or the adequate security as far as any election is concerned. But in a situation whereby people come to polling unit voting with ordinary ATM, I'm surprised. Is there any report to all these security agents on ground? These are the questions that we need to also ask from the party involved. Do you make any reports? There are observers on ground as well. Is there any report to all these observers? This will help even when you want to go to court. Observer can as well help you make it clear that we also observe this. We have this in our reports. So going forward, I will appeal to all political parties. It is not easy to be in opposition in Lagos State. Let me be honest with you. Lagos State's opposition party, honestly, let me give you one of us. It is not easy. You cannot wrestle that power. They have everything intact, right from local government election. And the one thing political party fail to understand, winning local government election is not a week, 1 month, 3 month preparation. You plan 4 years ahead before you could win that election, before you could even wrestle that power with them. You don't have what they have the people, they have the finance. But if you have candidates who are very strong and popular in that local government or in that community or constituency, you can as well use that power with them and win that seat. No matter amount of rigging or amount of intimidation, your candidate will still win that election. So our appeal, to, of course, it's happened in some states. But I will appeal to all political parties to do more as far as that aspect is concerned. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Felicity.
Yes, we'll just take one more person. Mr. Jide Johnson, he's a public affairs analyst, and he's always a regular on our channel analyzing issues. 2 minutes, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you for this opportunity. First and foremost, the experience, regardless of the party that controls the state, it is the party that controls the states that control local government election in Nigeria. So what you accuse APC of doing in Lagos State is what probably your party is doing in other states. And that has been what has characterized local government election in Nigeria. And what is the way forward? One, the first attempt for us to have a unified local government structure was in 1976. The 1976 local government reform by Obasanjo Murtala administration. Now for us to move forward, the second attempt was by Babangida in 1991 when we have presidential system of local government at the local government level. Now for 1999 constitution, there's no unified structure with respect to the local government administration. What we had recently was a backdoor approach to have a unified structure with the Supreme Court judgment talking about the release of funds directly to the local government. What we need, one, is for us to have a unified local government structure, a unified election conducted by INEC and not LASIEC. Until you take the election away from for not participating, every one of us must put our hands on it to ensure to make the local work. It's our problem. Together we solve this particular problem. We can keep putting the blame on the police. If we don't advocate for reforms of the local government structure, sure you will come back 4 years' time. If your party is the party controlling the local government, you'll be blaming the opposition for it. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. At this point, thank you. Thank you. At this point, we'll be leaving it open to the House. Three actions, just three at this point. If you've spoken before, please. 1, 2, and 3. 3. Maybe I should just pick one person here. I know we have a student representation here. Any students, would you like to say anything? 1. Thank you. So please, a minute. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. My name is Olaide. I'm also a candidate. Last election that was held July 12. I just have to share a few things about what actually happened during the course of the election. While I was going to house campaign, so many persons that I met with, they were not aware there was election. So I had to be the one telling them that election is forthcoming. So they were like, oh, no problem. Why some said they don't have their voters card, that they actually registered, but they were not given their voters card. I could remember the first time we had the first segment of this program. I talked about that I was going to LASIEC office, that I badged into INEC office. I met some voters card, people's voters card on the table. I met it there. I was like, what did you want to use the voters card for? Even though she talked to me like, don't say that. That's an allegation, but I actually accepted when she said I shouldn't say that very day when I talked about it. Now, people complain that they don't have voters card, that they registered, but they were not given their voters card. That's one. Then secondly, I think people need to understand that the more we call out for our president, which is Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and also the governor, we need to also ensure that we need to also call out our local government chairman and the councillors, because every decision is being made starts from the grassroots. Because if we want to have good roads, if we kept on calling Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the governor, they won't do anything. But when we try to ensure that we know the names of our local government chairman and the councillor, this will be fixed with immediate effect. But when we've sidelined the local government chairman and the councillor, we give them more power. That's the reason why I said we need to ensure that we need to start holding our local government and our councillor responsible for the growth of our community.
Thank you very much. Thank you. 1 minute.
Good day, everybody. My name is Sam Okbala, the Secretary of Labour Party Lagos State. I want to strictly align myself with what my brother has said here. as long as we have state independent electoral commissions conducting state local government elections, we can make no way. That is given. Again, I want to disagree with people who are saying that the reason for voter apathy is because political parties are not doing enough. I want to disagree. The reason why we have voter apathy is because Nigerians have lost faith in the electoral system. No two ways about it. When you go out to vote, either you return back to your house with one limb. You go out to vote, you will see your name in the voter, the point of repeating. So the answer is electoral reform. And I think at this point in time, we complained like this 4 years ago. And if the system is not attended to, next 4 years will take. I think it is coming to a point where Nigerians will collectively say no election until we have electoral. Thank you.
Hi, thank you for having me back. So, as I said where I was caught earlier, that there was election, but the election has shown us the INEC, the police official, and the LASIEC as well, you failed. Shows no transparency. A lot of people were at home, me myself to be precise. So, to the PR, Mr. Benjamin, my question to you to speak on, we can tweet on it or later, is that a lot of allegation has been placed on the police officers today here. Collecting bribes. They are not enough to guide who are the voters for that day. What are the NPF are putting in place for this coming election 2027 not to happen? Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you.
I'm going to the mic right now to Oni Adetola, is the former special advisor on security, community and chieftaincy affairs to the executive chairman of Koka-Agoda LCDA.
Good afternoon, everybody. Sorry, let me just walk out. Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. At initial stage, I was thinking that I may be crucified by speaking. But at this point in time, I think I need to set the record, put the record straight. My name is Kayode Akintemi. I'm from Koka-Agoda, a member of APC, to be precise. I have listened to everybody with their submissions, and in as much that I want to agree on some and also want to disagree on some. My is very, very valid. I am also of the opinion that you need a political autonomy in the local government. I agree to that. But I also want to let us know that power is not on the election day. Actually came out to observe, to do the election. I see no reason why your followers, if to believe in you, will not follow you to. So that voter party that we are talking about, it is not from the ruling party. Everybody, even if everybody that is in the game, you want to that shortcut to get your message passed down. So the only way we can,
Let's calm down, please. Thank you. So I want to ask you a question before you proceed. Will you be willing to take? Do you have the capacity to respond to the question, because you have been here and you had all the concerns and allegations that has been laid on the door at the doorstep of the APC. Do you think you can take on this question?
I am not here for APC. I'm not their spokesperson, but I'm a member of that party.
Thank you very much. But this is something you need to take back to your party on behalf of the people that have spoken today. There are concerns about the process. And New Central sent out an invitation that was acknowledged, but we do not have representative of the APC in this gathering. It is imperative that your party shows leadership, even at the lowest level, and are important in that regard. So please, take this message back to appear when requests are made. Like, thank you.
Thank you. That will be passed across to the leadership of my party. But in conclusion,
In conclusion, before I drop the mic, I want to appeal to all of us. A lot of us said something about disenfranchisement from the LASIEC, and all of us know that if you are going for a job interview, nobody needs to tell you that you must come with your original document. So that is not.
Please, one house. Thank you. I know we all, thank you very much. Thank you. Please kindly sit down, sir. Thank you. So that we can, hear ourselves. Many of us, sorry, please, one house. Many of us had the opportunity to talk and we were not interrupted. So please, let's accord him that opportunity. Thank you. Please.
In conclusion, I would just want to appeal to everybody here that immediately after this program, let us go out to our various local government and start to talk about our parties, and so that at the end of the day, before the next election come 2027, we must have sold our party to the generality of the people, so that they can follow us when we need them at that point in time. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are wrapping up this conversation. As engaging as it has been, we are time constrained. So just to give you a heads up that what we're going to do now is basically we've been asking people at home to participate by sharing their thoughts. So we got a couple of messages. We're going to read that out. Then after that, we're going to have the security personnel here, the PPRO, a very familiar face, to talk to us on the allegations that has been laid at their doorstep and possible actions going forward. And of course, Managing Director is here. He will speak to us. So we're winding down. We crave your indulgence to please just give us your attention and no rowdiness, please. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Now, this, of course, a reaction from social media. We are not just, on television. We're also streaming this live on social media. So, Ajiboye Shun says, to be sincere, as a citizen and resident in Lagos, I'm seriously concerned about this thuggery. On election day, Lagos and Lagosians need to stand up against this. It's getting out of hand. We also have another reaction from Tolani 5058. It says that this is actually APC plan for 2027 election. Chase opposition away from polling units. They are already using the local government election for the experiment. It happened in Ogun State too. These are reactions from social media. Tolani went further to write that this is actually, okay, I think I've read that. And then finally, News Central, God bless you guys. Well, these are some of the reactions on social media. At this point, I'll be calling forward Felicity to take us through the next item.
Okay, yes. They've been patiently sitting with us for over 2 hours, listening to the concerns being raised. Before we even continue, thank you very much for being so engaging and committed to this process. Step by step, we'll get there. Benjamin Hundeyin is the Police Public Relations Officer here in Lagos. Would like you to come and speak to us for maybe 2 minutes.
Police is your friend. Please, once again, a round of applause.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. And, thank you for inviting me here. So a lot has been said, and I've jotted down some points, and in no particular order, I'm going to address some of these issues as best as I can. Somebody said, I think the person that said he did, he has a master's in international law, if you remember that speaker. So he said someone gave him a piece of advice that stuck with him, and that's that in the next election, you should make use of cultists. I want to talk about that. Just 2 days ago, we arraigned in court Wasiu Akinwande, popularly known as Lagosians. He was arrested in Mushin. And you know, in the course of interrogation, so the case is in court, I won't speak much about it, but in the course of interrogation, he confessed to being a political thug. So if you want to toe that line, you want to get cultists, you want to arm them for political gains. So what happens after the election? So after election, Wasiu Akinwande became a land grabber, a murderer, an assassin, allegedly, because the case is in court, but that's what we have found out in our investigation. So I just want to quickly say, please, using cultists is not the way to go, because after election, they will become a menace to society. Now, people complain about Mushin not being safe. We saw families that came out. The News Central was there. I don't know if you can make or you can just search for it on YouTube. A mother came there and was crying about how this man killed her son. Another woman showed us her leg, how this man shot her on the leg, and she's limping till today. So I don't want to belabor the point, but we don't need to, out of annoyance, say we want to use cultists, because we recover over 7 AK-47 rifles from him. So politicians don't actually recover these guns after they win their offices. So please, cultism is not the way to go. I needed to make that point. Okay, somebody asked, thank you very much, somebody asked, what did CP go to do in First Tag? CP should tell us what he came to do in First Tag. It wasn't just First Tag. CP was in Surulere that same day. I was with him. CP was in Ikorodu that same day. We visited different parts of Lagos just to see how the election was going. And people were there. It wasn't under the cover of darkness. It was right there. So if you're asking us what CP came to do, you can as well ask people that were there. We went there, we asked the electoral officers, how is it going? We saw some voters, what do you have to say? And you know, some people even complained about electoral officers not being there yet, and they've been there since morning. Well, we are there to provide security. So for that, LASIEC will handle it. We actually placed a call to LASIEC too. So my point is, we're just there to supervise and see that things were going right. So it's not like we went there for any nefarious activity. I make bold to say it. Yes, I like that Felicity said something, that people have been talking about things that did not go right. How come nobody has come out to talk about how things went smoothly in a particular police unit? Now, we have 13,325 polling units in Lagos. If we decide to collate where we had issues, you will discover that we've just decided to focus on the problems. I'm not saying these problems are not valid. I'm not saying they did not happen. But my point is, if we decide to be objective, okay, so let's collate. I'm not sure we have up to 1,000 units. We have problems. So talking about percentage, I'm sure that we had over 90% success. In polling units, no, just let me talk. We have over 90% success. Now, how do I know this? There's something we call ICES, Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security. All security agencies and LASIEC, and even the NYSC, and we also have what we call IPAC, the Inter-Party Advisory Council. So we're all on the same page. So for this last election, we had a joint control room where we had a representative from the Civil Defense, from the Army, Navy, Air Force, DSS, and the police. The control room was situated within the premises of the police headquarters in Ikeja. And we had our radio gadgets, our walkie-talkies. We were monitoring the airwaves. All agencies were on board. Also, days before the election, we issued a statement reading out phone numbers. That was when we talked about restriction of movement. So my point is, we made phone numbers available, not just to Lagosians, also to parties, to party agents, to LASIEC, to everyone. We also had a joint control room where we were monitoring the airwaves, waiting to receive distress calls so that we can attend to these things. And so that's how I'm able to confirm, and also moving around Lagos, that's how I'm able to confirm that we didn't have issues in up to 1,000 polling units. So going by percentage, if I write an exam, if you write an exam, and you score over 90%, there's no reason for you to write that exam. You cannot cancel it and say, oh, the election was a total failure and we need to do it again. It was successful. Talks about voter apathy. Well, I don't want to talk about that. Mine is to focus on security. I think the parties and LASIEC can talk about voter apathy. I also want to go to something I just said. Yes, somebody talked about thugs came to the polling unit. They were cutting away things. And the policeman was there. He did nothing. I like that. That you were factual. The policeman, not the policeman. Now, even if they were policemen, the arrangement we had, which we informed parties about, which everyone agreed with, was that we were going to have a minimum 3 policemen per polling unit, or 3 security operatives. And to make sure we achieve this number, the IGP approved the deployment of extra 6,000 policemen to Lagos. They came. And we had these policemen per polling unit. No party raised an objection at that point too. We also agreed that security operatives would not be armed. No party raised an objection. We're all on the same page. Because they said at polling units would cause fear, would cause panic. People would not want to come out to vote. We also made a statement, we issued a statement. In our statement, the same statement I referred to earlier, we made it clear that VIPs would not be allowed to come with armed escorts to the polling units. We just don't want guns. So, you have 3 security operatives unarmed. You have possibly 10 thugs. We've had this conversation before. We had 10 thugs invading that place. Rather than the policemen getting hurt or injured, they would rather, it's standard practice everywhere in the world. You don't need to make mockery of those officers. It's standard practice. When you are outnumbered, call for backup. And this is what would happen over and over again. Trust me, 2027, the same thing will happen unless IPAC, ICES, all the parties, we can go back to that same drawing board we went to where we agreed that security operatives should not be armed. So we are simply playing by the rules we all agreed on. So it doesn't mean the police did nothing. Of course, the police was there. The police observed. And they'll get back to the station and submit a report on what's transpired. And this report, every party would be privy to it, even ICES, or even LASIEC, rather. Yes, I would like to say something about why get a polling unit from here to there. Okay, so we are there to provide security. There is an electoral officer in charge of that polling unit. And do not forget that everything we're doing in terms of election is guided by the Electoral Act. So it's about the Electoral Act. And I don't know if it's also called presiding officer for local government elections, but the person in charge of that polling unit, the presiding officer, decides when voting starts, decides when voting ends, has the power to call security operatives to say, this person is troublesome, take him out of here. He has that power. We listen to them. He's the custodian of the Electoral Act there, not the party agent. It's not about the party act, it's about the Electoral Act. And that's the electoral officer. So if in his wisdom, his or her wisdom, he says that this particular place is not safe for our election, we would like to relocate, as long as there is no major or massive opposition to it, if we're all on the same page, and as long as the police, all the setup for that polling unit can also move, yes, in the interest of security, it can move. So I don't want us to just make a blanket statement. No, I understand where you are coming from. I understand where you are coming from. I won't be, let me speak please. I won't be blind or deaf to the points you made about relocating a polling unit into a chairman's office. I heard that clearly. Relocating into a chairman's office, I heard that clearly. But I'm saying again that in the interest of security and not to disenfranchise anyone, if we need to relocate a polling unit, we would. And I also jotted the point, pardon me. That's fine.
Please, please. Gentlemen and ladies, please, we'll definitely take reaction. One house.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
I need to wrap up because questions need to be asked. But somebody said LASIEC does not have the power to relocate a polling unit. It's not out of the ward. It's still within the same ward. We are not saying you are moving from one ward to another. If I'm moving a polling unit from the front of this building to the front of the next building, it's still within the same ward. So I'm not talking about moving. I need to quickly round up. Yes, somebody said here, we have videos, we have evidence. I have given it to your producers. Please, I would also like to appeal. When you have these things, channel it through the appropriate quarter, or channel it to the appropriate quarters. So it's okay to send to the producers of New Central TV. But where necessary, like someone was saying, though the person used the regulatory language, that the CP was so useless, the IG was so useless, which I take an exception to. But in that case, if I say forward your evidences to the Commissioner of Police, because you don't even trust the Commissioner of Police, why not IG? If you don't trust him too, we have the law has made it easy for you to make your complaints. The Police Service Commission is there, and the Police Service Commission has the power to discipline any erring police officer. Why not the Senate Committee on Police Affairs? Why not the Ministry of Police Affairs? So I'm just saying, in addition to sending these things to the producers, please also make use of the appropriate channels. I think I'll stop there so I can take a question.
All right, thank you. All right, just two questions. Two questions. One, two. One. Okay, one. I have a man. I'm told to be gender sensitive. We only have two slots. One, I need a lady. Two. Thank you. So let's start with you, sir.
Yeah, my question for you, the police officer, your duty.
Your name?
My name is Honorable James Adeshino, former IPAC chairman. My question to you is this. Knowing fully well your duty, which is to protect lives and property. So in a situation whereby your men are not harmed at the polling units, why don't you have them maybe a little bit far from the polling unit, armed with guns, so that when the talks, the courtists comes around to disrupt the election, your boys can, maybe
ensure that they survey the situation. Why is it not like that? Because if you are saying that you are putting it in the hands of political stakeholders in Lagos State and the ISES or whatever you call to decide for you, it means that you are kind of relinquishing your own duty to other people to do.
All right, thank you very much. The second question, quickly. Sorry. No.
Okay. I've been raising my hand. Thank you very much. Okay, I would like to address the issue of security. The state PRO said your role in observing, going around the polling booths is to provide security. But if that is truly the case, how come there's so much voter apathy? People are scared of going to vote because the thugs are always around attacking people. Not just the local government election, even during the last presidential and gubernatorial election. I have some of my neighbors who were stabbed. Somebody said, he heard that if you know you are not going to vote for APC, better don't come here. People are scared. So I want you to address that. It's not just about you are going around to ensure that security. If you are not armed, how do you ensure that when the thugs are approaching, like he said, how are you going to observe, find solution to that? And secondly, I want to say this to the generality of everybody here. We've all been complaining, but nobody even made mention of holistic solution to all this. Now we have civil liberties organization. We have human rights activists. What are we doing about sensitizing the masses, about making demand on the National Assembly to review the Constitution, to ensure that everybody in this country exercise their franchise, their civil rights? Most times, a lot of people are scared of going to vote because they are scared of being armed. Now, we also look at separation of powers. How come that the judiciary is not independent? How come the INEC cannot be made to be independent? What are our senators doing? What are the National Assembly doing? We should look at it from that angle. Please, your name? Your name. My name is Grace Ode. I'm a member of NNPP.
All right, thank you very much. The final question.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, my name is Temila Dialunge. So, sir, I have a question for you. You mentioned that the IG deployed 6,000 new policemen into the state during the local government election. And then, are you saying that we only have 33,900 police officers working in Lagos with our number of population? So I just want to know, please. That's one. Then the second word will now be that I know you very well. We know you online. You always drop information. It's almost a month that the election had happened. What are you doing to drop an holistic report for us to know exactly what your own concerns are? Because if you are not dropping this information, we will just continue to attack you and we will not know what you are doing.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. I know that there are quite a number of us that still have concerns. Our digital team is on standby, so even after the program, you can approach us and we'll definitely take them. All right, over to you, sir.
So I think just two questions concern me. The question about separation of power doesn't fall within my purview. The first one is also the first question of the lady about why don't you have armed police officers? Of course, I was talking about polling units. I don't mean that all armed officers have gone to sleep. I don't mean that we have closed down the police station. I don't mean that we have withdrawn all patrol. I was talking about polling units. Definitely, we're still on patrol. Even the DSS was out on patrol. Even the army was out on patrol. Unfortunately, you could not move. There was restriction of movement, but I moved around with the Commissioner of Police, and I saw lots of armed men around, but away from polling units. And that's why I said we had a control room where people could call and say, there's something going on here. And every representative in that control room, the representative of the army, the DSS, the civil defense, has the obligation to quickly inform his own organization so that everybody can join hands together and quell such problem. Then the second question about when are we going to present a report? Yes, we, the ISES, the police, we are presenting our reports to the IG. So for Lagos, we are presenting our report to the IG. But that aside, I always, with the permission of the Commissioner of Police, I always oblige invitations like this so that we can discuss issues. So the report you are not getting in bulk, you can get in piecemeal through the questions you ask. So we are open to any question you have. Talking about, I don't know how you did the maths. I don't know how you did the maths. You said if they brought 6,000 police officers, am I saying 33,000 something? First, where did you see the total you are deducting from? I really don't. You are, okay, that's, nah.
I don't want to, please, wait. I'm not trying to attack. I want clarity. You said we had 13,300 polling units. If you do a math by 3, we are looking at 33,900 for the 3 without your 6,000. So if you had your 6,000 seats, we are looking at like a 39,900.
Okay, you are assuming that every, hold on, I'll answer, I understand you perfectly. But you are assuming that every single police officer will be on election duty. No. If we are bringing in 6,000 officers, that's because we can't use every single police officer for election. We have officers posted to government house. We have officers posted to critical national infrastructure. We have officers with judges. We have officers everywhere. So we can't pull out everybody and make other places bare. So it doesn't add up the way you're saying. But still, we have enough police officers in Lagos. But because of the fear people have for election, we have to bring, and thankfully, it's not a general election where other states too are having elections. So they were able to give us officers for adequate security of the election. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much.
I know some people might not want to hear it, but they say Rome was not built in a day. They started from somewhere. So it's been a very intense one so far, but we still have just one more guest to bring up here to speak to us, and that is the PRO NSCDC Lagos State Command, Oluwaseun Aboluri.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. I want to first thank the organizers of this event, New Central TV. I'm also thank the very esteemed audiences that we have here. For the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, whom I'm actually representing as PRO NSCDC Lagos State Command, under the able leadership of our dear State Commandant, Mr. Keshiru Adedosun Sunday, who has also graciously sent me here. For the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, we are a very integral security agency in election security in Nigeria. And for the last local government election in Lagos State, which was held on Saturday, 12th July 2025, the NSCDC played a very vital role in ensuring that we secure all the elements involved in the election process, up to the voters and where you have polling units and the rest of that. Now, looking at the number of the polling units across the nooks and crannies of Lagos State, over 13,000, you discover that you need a very serious number of security agencies to ensure that there is peace and tranquility during this election, as the way it was conducted. As a result of that, the Nigerian Police Force, you know, is a lead agency in internal security in Nigeria. Now, for the purpose of this election, we played a very vital complementary role in ensuring that what they are bringing to the table had overreaching success. So as a result of that, other security agencies were also present, including the NSCDC, to ensure that voters, vote without fear or intimidation, and those who were carrying or conveying these electoral materials, both sensitive and non-sensitive, do not also have itch or glitch. However, like all over the world, perfection is what everybody aspires to do, no matter either you're an individual, organization, or a system. Even in this room, we have not been perfect. Am I correct? In the way we have spoken, in the way we have conducted ourselves, and so if you're actually pointing an accusing finger to a system, also check yourself. And the way we are trained with a lot of resilience and emotional intelligence. Even if you spoke against my commandant that is mad, or you spoke against the commandant general that is mad, we are not here to now come and tell you that you are also mad. We are here to take it, go back, and also see where we can improve. Because your information is valid. Your expression is valid. The way you feel is important. All right? And also begin to understand that the way we all feel is important. We will not always go back to do the right thing. So what I would say is that the election is behind us. We should coordinate all the lessons that have been learned here and all the expressions that have been made. Whether you want to look at it more or less, many of these expressions might be genuine, many might be as a result of frustrations and the rest of that. Let's put them together and see how we can all improve as a people and as citizens of our country. Now, you remember that our critical national asset and infrastructure across our communities are important. The telecommunication lines, the oil and gas pipelines, the power stations. If these things broke down before, during, and after the election, after the election now, you won't be talking about what happened in the election. We're talking about you don't have power, you don't have network, and the rest of that. So during the election, we made effort to ensure that while you are pursuing your candidates winning and also voting, we did not sleep on our duty, which is one of our major or core mandates, as NSCDC. And that's why after the election, you have lights in your house, your oil pipelines are working, you don't have issues with your power station, and the rest of that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We're out of time. I'm so sorry. We're out of time. Thank you so much. I know we don't have the time. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a couple of hours, but very rewarding to me. I don't know. Just to quickly highlight, before I call my boss to come and talk to us, to quickly highlight some of the things that I think are imperative. Voter apathy, we need to kill it. In the course of all the submission, one thing that keeps standing out is if people come out to vote, the likelihood of manipulation is lesser. So if you're watching and you don't vote, I don't know which one you're on. So next election, please work towards being a part of the process. Let's start from somewhere. The other thing that was talked about was voter education. Yaga Africa actually emphasized that. Voter education, we need to look at that. And I think a lot of the submission today was on the independence of the umpire. That's the people that conducted this election. A lot of submission on that. Opposition inclusion and monitoring mechanism. And then this winner takes it all mentality. I think that is another concern that was raised here. We need to have clearer electoral guidelines when we go into these elections. There is more, I know, but we're time constrained and we really do need to wrap up. So I crave your indulgence now to please invite to this platform the person who had the vision to have us all gather here and have this conversation, Mr. Kayode Akintemi, the MD of New Central Television.
Thank you so much, Felicity. Ladies and gentlemen, and all our viewers at home, this, and I'm not the only one, There are Nigerians who can go anywhere in the world that they want to go. But they choose to stay in this country. They have the option of having a second passport, but they choose to not have it. If they want to apply for American passport, they can, and they will get it by merit, not by buying it. But they choose to not carry a second passport. They choose to not live anywhere else. They make a decision that this is their home. Not just their fatherland, but their motherland as well. So that choice is what drives someone like me and a number of other Nigerians that supports this kind of projects and insists that no matter what anyone does, we will not stop talking. We will not stop speaking out about the things that we consider as wrong in our nation. I heard somebody talk about violence and this and that, and I know that there are pastors that will preach on the pulpit when you're praying and you're asking for God's help, and they will tell you the kingdom of God suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. And there are politicians who will tell you today that it's not by force, and they will tell you as well that it's not a do or die. And by all means, politics or democracy is not a do or die, if you really want to be honest. But the fact remains that that force that is being mentioned is not by carrying dagger, machete, and guns and AK-47. The force that is required for you to take your country to the level that you desire to take it to, that force is for you to wake up every day and say, this country cannot remain like this. I will use every power, every ounce of energy in my body to push this country to the level that I desire. It is by force, in a manner of speaking. When you have less than 20% of the voters in a state like Lagos, the in Nigeria, some people describe it, is it the fourth or the fifth largest economy on the continent of Africa? And then we're talking of voter apathy, not voter apathy in that sense, but one, where the percentage of people that voted, my reporters went out and they're talking about some polling units where there's only one person that came out to vote. And they had a list of over 150 people on the polling, on the sheets. One person, in some cases 3, in some cases 5. And there are reports where they said some of the officials, when they discovered that it's almost time and only 3 people showed up, they're thumbprinting. These are allegations, not proven. We don't have the records. I already got a gentleman who sent me some video indicating that in my polling units, according to him, there were officials that were thumbprinting. We have not verified, so we don't know. And we don't carry fake news at News Central. What we do is verify, validate, and then we can say, yes, authoritatively, this is what we have. So here is the issue for us. We are keen to see our democracy grow. We continue to say that we are the fourth estate of the realm, and we will do our job and our duty. Loyalty, according to some people, is a duty. If you're asking for loyalty to Nigeria, you're asking for everyone to be duty-bound, to say this nation, as long as I have breath, I will commit to Nigeria. And you have that responsibility to do it, and to do it consistently, not for 3 days or 3 months and say I am tired. Or that as the young people will say, my tired is tired. Don't say your tired is tired. Your tired cannot be tired. Because I have a spirit of endurance. I do marathon. And the development of this nation is not a sprint. It's not 100 meters. It's an endurance race. It's a marathon that we all have to commit to. I had a conversation with Professor Akintemi over the course of the weekend, and we're talking about the fact that 40, 45 years back, Professor Ayoyinka said that his generation is wasted. The man is 90 years old now. He said that over 40 years ago. The likes of Professor Akintemi and co are 70 years old now. Their generation is more than wasted. I am 60 years old. Is this generation not wasted? We have young people in this room. What's the hope that their generation will not be wasted again? Is this nation going to continue like this and say what we want to do is to continue to waste generations upon generations, develop talents, and encourage them to go abroad like Joseph, that don't desire to come back and build our own Israel in Africa and be the true giant of the continent, not just by numbers, by virtue of the achievement and the things that we do. I'm extremely passionate about this assignment because this is an assignment for every single one of us. Sometimes it becomes tiring when you sound and feel like the lone voice in the wilderness. But New Central cannot be the lone voice in the wilderness because we need every single one of you to commit to one thing, that every one of you will not allow yourselves to rest. As I wrap up, I must call out Lagos State Independent Electoral Commission. We had a chairman's round table not too long ago. Before this election, we invited LASIEC. We wrote letters, we made phone calls. Lagos State Independent Electoral Commission and my producers in the office, I want to see the picture of the chairman, the PRO, the logo of LASIEC, to call them out. The Lagos State government is invested money, not spend, invested money, running to billions of naira. That is not the money of the state governor or state government. This is taxpayers' money. Our money, we pay tax in this state. And given to LASIEC, and they have opted to ignore the first conversation, and they are opting to not show up at this conversation. In the course of saying that, I'll digress quickly and say thank you very much, Benjamin, and thank you to Mr. Jimo. So we should say thank you to the police for showing up here. Very much NSCDC for coming to give your own side of the story. Those who show up, we should commend them and give them a round of applause. But when we have LASIEC that takes people's money, the sweat and blood of those who continue to answer the call of government and saying, I did pay my tax. That tax, like some people will say, Owo Eniru, Owo Alata, the one that comes from the woman that sells pap and sells pepper, they collect their money as tax. No matter how little, it's their sweat and their blood. Then LASIEC collects it, runs an election that some people have described as shambolic, that is a charade. Whether they are right or wrong, LASIEC has a duty to show up and present their side of the story. Because it is not our job to tell a single story. And we don't carry fake news. They have a duty, and I will continue to insist that news centralization, we will keep extending invitation on a regular basis to LASIEC. They must come and present their case to the people of Lagos. They owe them a duty and responsibility. Whether you want to call it the Lagosians or residents of Lagos, the good people of Lagos that pay their tax, irrespective of what part of the nation they come from, as long as they're resident here and they pay tax, LASIEC owe them a duty to explain how the money was spent, what they did, where they got it wrong, which is okay, which is human, because to give to err is human, and how they're going to correct those wrongs in the next set of elections. The second set of people I would mention as I wrap up, we extended invitation to 19 political parties registered by INEC in Nigeria. Every single one of them got a letter and an acknowledgement indicating that they know that this event is taking place. I think about 5 or 6 of them have chosen to not attend. Top on the agenda list, because 5 or 6 of them didn't show up. Those 5 were informed, they actually acknowledged and indicated, yeah, they're interested, and gave the impression that they're coming. But in the midst of that, there was one that stood out, and I said, I am not a politician. I don't belong to any political party. In my entire life, if I've had any affiliation in any political party, probably when I was a young man and I wanted to join Tuji Braithwaite, when in 1979, when I was young and I said I was going to join Tuji Braithwaite, we have to make this nation better. I did not register, but I supported whatever he said he wanted to do, because as a young man at that time, it looked like a great and brilliant idea. But since that time, I've never registered, I've never shown interest in any political party, because I've been, in the last 40 years, I've been a journalist that said I will not be aligned to political party. The only alliance I have is to the Nigerian state, the Nigerian people, and we owe them a duty to not just report, but to continue to push that platform that we work, a platform that makes it possible for the voice of the people to be heard. If the president is still the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, hear me and hear me now. If the governor of Lagos State is still the governor of Lagos, hear me and hear me now. If you are anything or anyone in this very country, please be very clear. News Central as a TV station will not carry fake news, will not share wrong information, will not malign anybody, will not be unfair to anyone, will not be unjust. But, please be clear, we will not stop using this as a platform for the people. We have done 12 town hall meetings in different parts of the country, and we're not stopping. Nigerians must have a voice. Nigerians must have a platform where they know for sure that their voices will be heard and their voices will never be ignored. I'm not an activist. I'm just a Nigerian that is passionate about this country. And in my lifetime, I don't know how many more years God has written down, whether it is 70 or more, but in my lifetime, I want to see a Nigeria that every single one of us that carry that green passport will be proud of. So, ladies and gentlemen, the IC has said nobody should start promoting any political party until they make an announcement that you can start the electioneering campaign for 2027. There are people who are already wearing names and carrying banners and posting stuff about some political parties indicating that they have started election anyway. And that's illegal. We will follow the law when the time is right. We know the 2026, that will be pushed. The boundary will be pushed, the preparation will be done. 2027, like one of my friends will say, I have no dog in the fight. I will not have any dog in the fight. The only interest will be for every single one of you, like the gentleman from, you said you're from APC, right? Like he said, every single one of you political parties, you have a duty and responsibility after today. Go back to your different constituencies. Speak to your people in your different communities and get them to understand what is your agenda, what you want to put to the table, what you bring to the table and what you want to do for them, so that the next election will be a lot more competitive, and you can be sure we'll give you a level playing ground when it comes to giving your voice the amplification that it requires to get the message out. If everyone will do that, it will become more competitive. You can't have a situation where you're a candidate and even in your own polling unit you can't command 5 voters. You can't do that. So you need to make sure that you go out and do it, and you can be sure you have an alliance in us in terms of using our platform to support every political party. That's our duty. It's our responsibility, and we will be held to that as ethical requirements. I will say thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. New Central is everybody's platform. Every single one of you have a duty, and you have the right to come to us. We will help to amplify your voice. We will give you the support as long as it is in the interest of the good people of Nigeria and of the nation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I think at this point we all need to also have a round of applause for ourselves.
For ourselves. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your patience, for your submission, for your time, for your interest. Like my boss has said, we will get there. It doesn't matter how long the journey may be. Thank you very much once again. And that's a wrap.
Yeah, just before we go, the conversation still continues on the station. There are programs. We have Politics HQ, for instance, which is the station's political platform show, where we've had quite a number of you as guests. The conversation continues there, and across all of our programs, from the news to the breakfast show. So please feel free. News Central, our goal is to constantly feel the pulse of the people and let the authorities know in real time how we are feeling. Also, just to mention, we are going to be taking a group photograph after this. So please, I would kindly appeal that we cooperate with the coordinators. And we have, I'll call it a little, takeaway. It contains our lunch and, our souvenirs. Please, we cannot eat inside the hall. So we'll be doing that outside. Once again, thank you so much.
And that's a wrap. Thank you very much. God bless you all.